special episode. I guess I might as well just call this a special episode of the Experiment Podcast. Where, as always, I am the head of the asylum here, and we are here for what else but a prediction in regards to E3, Summer of Gaming, and Summer Game Fest 2021 with Jeff Keighley. And for this special episode, we brought the band back together. We haven't been together since the Game Awards of last year, back in early December of 2020. Back when Cyberpunk 2077 wasn't, you know, terrible yet, or we still had hopes for that game and that sort of thing. Um, yeah, actually, I think that's probably the top thing. Oh yeah, and the Last of Us Part Two, basically being you know, questionable at best for winning all the awards, especially against like such great titles like Ghost of Tsushima. But anyway, we are here today with a lovely pair of men from across the pond. So representing Scotland, he is a streamer and a podcaster, and also the leader of the Shinigamis, Mr. Shin Kagato.
Hello.
And we have sorry. Go ahead.
I'm going to say, like, the Cyberpunk game, that was originally meant to be Cyberpunk 2021, but it got delayed so much that it became what it was.
Yeah, that's true. And alongside us today, welcoming back a roleplay streamer, character streamer, a host of his own podcast himself with the We've Barely Started podcast, the one and only, the Atomic Bear.
That's me. That's my name. The one and only. How we doing, boys?
Doing good.
I'm doing good.
So far.
I'm surprised none of us have trademarked our names yet. Like we should
I
really try to
can't.
get rid of that. You can't?
No, listen, all right. I've been there's a company with my name,
Oh
and
no.
they sell army pens of all things.
What?
Yeah. I'm not. You Google the Atomic Bear on Google. It'll come up with
Oh
this
my
army
God.
pen survival place.
Okay, hold on. The Atomic Bear.
Yeah.
No, not bomb. Bear.
Not the atomic bomb. Yeah, no, I hope
Oh,
not.
God, you're right.
Oh, but the
Check the survival kit. Shop now.
oh my goodness.
A
Yeah,
mini tactical
survival gear.
flashlight.
Oh
And-
my goodness.
They did a sweepstakes a couple years ago, and because I have the Twitter handle, they were all tweeting at me. It was the most. I woke up with 50 notifications, and I was like, "What? I'm blowing up!" And then it's just a bunch of people going, "I entered the Atomic Bear pen giveaway," and I'm like, "God damn it!
Damn it. Come on.
This is my time."
So this is I thought this is all the love for me, but apparently this was like a miscommunication. What the hell's
Unbelievable.
going on?
Damn.
They do look nice though, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
I've not seen anything. That stuff. You're the only one. There's only one Atomic Bear to me, and he's sitting on this podcast.
yeah, damn
now.
right.
No,
Damn
I'm
right.
saying as a tool itself, I'm saying they look nice. I'm not saying that they deserve to have the name. I'm just
That's what
saying
I'm saying.
the tool looks nice.
Unbelievable. I can't believe it.
That is crazy.
So
Maybe
be
one day
sure-
I'll claim it back.
Maybe you should, yeah. So when you ever have a merch thing, you actually have to put like merch at or oh wait, hold on, Atomic Bear merch. I think you probably have to get away with that one.
I might get away with that.
Or maybe if you ever get enough money, you can actually just buy the title from them. instead of
just
brand
buy
themselves.
their company. Yeah. Just
Buy
change
their
their
company, like-
entire thing.
You don't
Goodbye
make tactical
now.
pens anymore. You work in my network of podcasting.
And just like
now.
that. Good riddance.
Oh, God.
I mean, they did ask for it.
Yeah.
Now, how messed up would it be if we got sponsored by them one of these times?
It'd be kind of funny. I'm gonna lie.
And then they request Bear actually does the ad. read.
I emailed them one time because of this mid sweepstakes thing. And hey, it's just kind of funny if we join together, huh? And they never got back to me, and they missed out. They missed out. Real
Yeah,
fun.
Yeah, like you get all big and famous one of these days. Like you never know, it will happen eventually. And they contact you like,
Yes.
hey, we just kind of stumbled across your email several years later,
Just a while ago,
just a while ago. Just like how things get lost in the email and stuff like that. It's like,
these things
no.
happen.
It's like no, it never happens. Usually the date's there. It usually tells you who sent it from, when they sent it. I think I remember it's like 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah.
Whoopsies.
Whoops.
Whoopsie doodle.
Oh well. So as you can see, we are as I see ours on our badges here. We all have our own individual countries. As always, I am the Canadian, and Shin is the lovely Scotsman, and of course we have Bear with the Union
Yep,
Jack.
that's me.
With the Union Jack.
I'm just Bear. There is no country can hold me.
Many have tried, many have failed.
Many have tried, many have failed. Yeah, indeed.
Damn right. Bring them on.
Anyway, so as you can see, guys, we are here specifically for today to discuss 3 gaming events that are going to be happening starting in a couple of days.
Yeah.
And we are one of many sources, many Twitch channels have already done this on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. People have already done it where they've done their thoughts, their hopes, their dreams, their fears.
It's
Their
always a fear.
tirades in some cases. Everyone who's listened to our experiment podcast from a couple weeks ago, you know of my tirade.
We've all had a little moment where we went off in one for whatever reason.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that is true.
I do it more often than not.
Yeah, we're all guilty of it. We've all had a moment where, like, even during a stream, we'll just stop doing everything just to have a moment. It's like, hey, let's talk.
It's like what the heck moment when something just happens that's so outlandish. You're like, come again.
Yeah, could you repeat that? I just didn't get that.
The greatest one in recent
what?
memory was the. Do you remember when they did the PSP event when it was first coming out? And they were like,
Yes.
they were all super happy. Like, we've got, oh, wasn't it? Was a PS Vita? It may have been a Vita actually. And Sony came out on stage and they were really proud. We've got this new handheld coming out. It's going to have 3G built into it. People are going to be able to play on the go. It's going to be brilliant. And then they announced the carrier was Verizon, and people just started booing. And like the guy that was in charge, like I think it was Kaz Hirai, was clapping, like yeah, yeah, and he's like trying to talk over the top of them, trying to make it sound like they're all happy. And obviously, like, the guys that were paid at the front were like, "Woo, yeah!" But you could hear other folk at the background just stunned silence or boos.
The audience automatically knew where the barrier was between, like, the paid people and the actual fans.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So he was like waves, like, yeah. And I feel that must have been very awkward for that last row that was like between at the border of those of
it's
those
like, what do we
fans. They're
do?
like,
What do we do?
yeah. Then they just turn around, like, oh, hello,
You just get that feeling like,
yeah.
imagine being Kaz Hirai that day, like standing there going, well, I've got to cheer, but everyone's telling me they hate this idea. And the board assured me that people would love Verizon as being the carrier. They told me that it would be perfect. And here they are, booing at me on my own stage. Oh, it must be so
They're
bad.
booing. Like, are they booing me or are they booing this? And they all just in front of the one
Are
that's
you
just like,
saying
no,
boo
we're not.
or boo earns?
I was saying boo earns.
It's like, no, it's like someone said, like, no, we love you. We just hate the idea you're presenting.
The irony was, like, the Vita was way ahead of its time in terms of technology, in terms of like what it could do, but it chose the wrong horse with the internet carriage. But to be fair, I think at that era they didn't really have a good one. There wasn't
Yeah.
anyone that would charge you like not $1 million to sit and play like Call of Duty in the bus. But
Yeah, actually, I'm thinking like someone even more recent than that was like, remember when Blizzard announced their mobile
oh
series,
yeah,
and just how quickly their fan base turned on them. Like, ooh,
what don't you have
like,
don't you have cell phones?
do you guys have cell phones? Like, why are you demeaning your why are you demeaning your audience?
And the irony is, from what I've heard anecdotally from people who've played that mobile phone game, it's pretty good. It's just they
Yeah,
presented
I
it in
think
such a way that it's indeed really tone deaf.
it was like they introduced it in a way that insulted their audience.
Yeah.
It's like, do you guys even have cell phones? It's like, Why would you ask that question with people who are most likely tweeting you, just making them like
Yes.
completely ignorant to their audience?
They're now tweeting on their cell phones that you just insulted, saying, these guys are assholes. Don't buy Blizzard games. Not that it hurt them
Sir,
much.
why exactly, Ghost Sir, why are you committing corporate suicide live?
I think sometimes
My
you get a little
favorite
bit brave, don't
pastime.
you?
Yeah, yeah. We've seen, like we've all seen conventions, we've all seen presentations where basically the audience is just dead. But the
Yeah.
audience is like super excited and just dies instantly.
It's the sudden silence that,
Um,
that can really cause shivers. You don't know if they're silent because they're impressed or they're silent because they're like, what?
they're impressed, they're confused, or they're so upset they have no words to describe it or no way to
Dumbfounded.
actually properly. Yeah.
There are no
Oh,
words to
geez. That's why
express
I'm like,
my anger right now.
there are no ways for me to express my anger right now that doesn't involve a fork, a pitchfork, and a torch.
Oh, wow. There's been some funny
I,
E3s. Remember Mr. Caffeine? Do you remember that guy from the past? From
oh
Ubisoft?
God.
He was like, someone made up the character for eBay, and it was literally how it sounds. It was just weirdly hyper for the whole thing. And I was
And
wait.
anybody who, and to anybody who's a caffeine drinker, that's not the case.
Yes, caffeine just gets you to the level where you can stay awake. You never get that high that everyone pretends to have in cartoons and TV shows.
Yeah, if you're at that level, you might want to consult a doctor.
If you're that level, you're probably dead. You don't realize it.
Yeah, your heart has already stopped, but your body's still pumping blood somehow. It's like your heart crashed like an hour ago. How are you still alive? I don't know.
So what is everyone's favorite E3 moment? Like comedic ones, or good or bad, or indifferent? Like what sticks out for you from E3 past?
I remember when we were watching it was either EA or Ubisoft, and the guy comes in for the Trials game, and he's all dressed up in
Oh.
the Daredevil costume, and he crashes into a TV and a table very obviously, and it was just the worst thing ever.
Ubisoft ones are always
Awkward.
cringeworthy though, aren't they? Remember he had that one where he had the skull from like Hamlet, but he had a very heavy French accent. He was super nervous and totally fumbled all his lines and said something incoherently into the mic, and everyone looked at him like, "What?" And then he was like, "Ha ha!" and walked off, and everyone's like, what was that?"
What just happened?
I felt so bad for him, but at the same time, it became a meme of its own. It was Weed 3 was last year, wasn't it? Or that was the year before. It was 2019. Weed 3 happened. Where they brought in, what was his name? Snoop Dogg, who was very
Oh,
obviously
I
stoned the entire time.
did somebody reveal? No, the PSC price reveal for that one. It was a
Yeah.
799. What was it, like $699 US dollars? Like almost $700 for a
Because
console.
they priced themselves like $100 more than the Xbox,
Jesus.
didn't they? I just remember
Oh, the
like people
Xbox
being like,
One reveal. Oh,
"Oh, the Xbox One reel was awful." Like the 360 one was like quite exciting for folk. I didn't really at the time I didn't realize what was there. I was like, I was really not on board until I actually got a hold of the Xbox 360 and played it. The Xbox One though, all the goodwill they built up through the 360, all the good gestures they did, and all the hard work they did to get people on side, they just threw it all out the window. I was like Don Matrick prattling around on stage, flipping his hair back and forward like some evil prince from an anime. Like, what the heck did they think they were doing firing him out there? He was the most tone deaf, most
oh,
ridiculous head of any kind of gaming division. Damn near
ooh!
sunk
I
the
lost.
Xbox division.
Wow, I lost you for a second there, Shin. I thought my internet died
Oh no.
because you were just in the middle of saying something, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh,
You can't get rid of me that easily.
oh, they're trying,
Not yet.
Damn it, Virgin Media, if you're
yeah.
listening, don't do it.
And they do it. They just look at
I
you
bet
like,
they won't.
and they did.
It did the
The
thing.
end.
Ah.
They did. The end.
Yeah, it's been interesting. E3 has always been one of those funny shows, hasn't it? Like it's for us, it's exciting because we're like get to see all these cool new games and it gets peek behind the curtain a little bit of some stuff that's coming up in the next few years. But like, there's so many cringeworthy moments in it. Like, it's one of those shows that makes the papers. Like people talk about it on like mainstream media. when it's on for the only time in the year when it's on. But there's so much weird stuff in that. There's so many weird conferences. Devolver Digital being one of them. Like I love their show every year, but it is some weird ass shit. Like that thing is mental bonkers crazy. Like the stuff they get away with. It's like the gore level of the original RoboCop, but in like a 30-minute skit.
Oh, lovely.
Just love watching people getting torn apart in those things and thinking, how do they get away with this every year? Like, how do they not get shut down? They don't take themselves seriously.
It's amazing sometimes when you just see like the level of like like some places they'll show a true effort to try to do stuff, and then other times you just see them like, and you could definitely tell when they're successful when the audience is with it and gets the program.
Yeah.
But the moment you know when it's bad is like when the audience like just looks blankly,
So they start playing with their
blankly
phones.
or look confused. Or start playing with the phones, exactly. Like I guess like a good example would be like, when you think of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Like when they revealed it, it's like, oh yeah, we're optimizing the original Final Fantasy VII. And you could just
Oh,
hear like the cheers when they thought, oh, we're gonna get the remake. And then just the audience is like the volume just dropped
it
when
was
they realized like, oh, we're
something
just
to do with the wording, I think, when they came out at first, and they were like, remember, like, last year we talked about Final Fantasy VII, and everyone wanted to come out, and folk were like, yeah, we remember that, we remember that. What's coming out? In its original form. And folk were like, yeah, what?
oh
What?
Because I was the same, I was like, holy crap, they're doing it, and then I was like, wait a minute, this what?
this doesn't make any
I
sense.
don't get me wrong, I still bought that game when it first came out, like on PS4, and played it a bunch. Like I was happy
Yeah.
to get it, but I was like still listening. I was like, but what if they'd released a 3D version of it? What if they'd given it to that weird Nomura guy to actually do the thing?
Weird guy.
That guy should not be making games on his own.
Yes.
This is my usual moan about him. Like he makes his Kingdom Hearts games, right? You love them or hate them. They are what they are, and people play them. People enjoy them. Don't
Indeed.
get that stink into my Final Fantasy games though. Like I don't. There's a reason why Kingdom Hearts isn't Final Fantasy. It's its own thing. It's allowed to be onto the side because it's a different type of game. You start trying to blend that stuff into Final Fantasy, it doesn't always work. And the only reason 7 worked so well is because he wasn't on his own. He had 2 other producers with him. They kept
Yeah.
him in check, and that's why that's why the game wasn't delayed until 2050, and 2, it's why like we've actually got a game that plays like close enough to the Final Fantasy 7 that we know, but it's different enough to give you some unique kind of combat routines. 15 could have been good had he been kept in check, but he was allowed to just sit and do what he wanted for like 6 or 7 years until that game came out, and they were like, yeah, nobody's gonna like this. Some people did, some people didn't,
Mm,
but that could have been a bigger hit. I
fair
don't think
enough.
Nomura's talentless, but he needs someone next to him saying no,
You need someone.
no.
You need someone to hold the reins.
So to say, like, I know you like to
Like
do this crazy stuff, but keep that for your other series. Don't do it in the mainline one where people are expecting something completely different from it.
versus 13.
Yep, versus 13, aka 15,
Uh huh.
on the fabulous Novalis Crystallis system or something. It had a really stupid name. I remember there was a couple of PlayStation Portable games and a Vita game in production at the point as well. One of them became Final Fantasy Type 0.
Yeah.
But they were all meant to originally be part of the 13 universe.
The Luminous engine. There you go. The Luminous engine.
There was it ever had a stupidly long name at one point. It did have a really bad long name when it was back when
The
13 got announced.
the, the Ludicrous Speed engine. I don't know.
Ludicrous speed.
Indeed.
Unbelievable.
Yes. But it's still like the positive, like the negative being that, with the positive being like the insane amount, like when they saw like what was the following E3, when they just started like teaching the live stream at the Sony presentation, and it was like, so are they just yanking our chain again, or are they actually legit gonna do the remake? And when they showed that intro, and you could just see the audience is like kind of sitting there in anticipation, thinking like, oh, is this gonna be like a movie reveal? Like, are they making another Final
Is
Fantasy
this
7
Advent Children
movie?
2?
Yeah, this is Advent Children 2. And when they realized, like, no, this isn't Advent Children 2, we're actually here. They're doing it. It's legit. They're not lying.
I think the thing with that is like when I saw that at first, like initially I was excited, Then I went through the stages that you go through when a game you really love gets remade. I was like, oh wait a minute, what if they screw it up? Oh wait, what if they mess this up big time? And I started having all those worrying points. It's like every time I saw the game again, I was like, this looks further and further away from what I want from a Final Fantasy VII game. Thank goodness they pushed ahead with it anyway, because it turned out to be
Yeah,
like my favorite game that year. But I
yeah,
was so
and
skeptical about that and so stressed that it would be bad.
yeah. Well, yeah, and also we've also had the infamous conversation whenever we bring up Final Fantasy VII remake is like the amount of like the unique audience that existed out there that was complaining about the fact like this isn't the same Final Fantasy. It's like you guys wanted a remake or did you
Oh
guys want
yeah,
a remastering? It's like we wanted a remake. We this is what we gave you.
yeah. That was that sketch. It's like, what do you want? Final Fantasy Seven? What kind of Final Fantasy Seven? Remake, remaster? We want a remake. Okay, here it is. Why is it different? Like, because it's not what you asked for, and it's not even like they didn't release the other game like HD'd
Yeah,
up. Like the other game is still available on all platforms. You can play it anywhere you want.
yeah. I think it's on Game Pass right now still.
You can play it on Switch, you can play it on PC, you can play it on Xbox, PlayStation. In fact, the only thing
On
it's
your
not on is
phone.
Stadia right now, which is weird since they're getting a lot of strange games.
That's true. Stadia usually has a lot of stuff.
Stadia is still a thing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we keep getting reminded of it every time there's like a big game comes out, and it's like also on Stadia, and we're like, oh yeah, that thing.
Usually the first, yeah, it's usually the first one we see like coming out on Stadia, than everything else.
Yeah. I
Oh
was,
yeah, I could do. Oh yeah, 2015's E3 with was Impossibly Perfect, and that Shenmue 3 made people go wild.
oh yeah.
Yeah, Shenmue 3.
And it was the Doom 2 got announced as well, like the same winter. That was a really good E3. There's a few
Mm-hmm.
E3s like that. That I've got like hit after hit after hit. But some it can be quite tiring. See if you get too many good things in a row over the 3 days that it's on, you can feel
Mm-hmm.
completely out of it by day three. You've been overloaded.
Like I said, this is what makes this coming week very exhausting. We have 3 events happening starting officially on Thursday. Now I know schedule wise, people have always been mentioning it. There is a Battlefield 6 reveal tomorrow morning. Like tomorrow morning for me, tomorrow afternoon for you guys.
Yeah, I'm not. Like, I'll let someone who, like, there's no point in me sitting covering a game I have no interest in because you'll just see me looking really bored and Jeff Keighley esque, like when he was doing the Dorito thing. You'd be better, like, me just bypassing that and maybe passing comment on it if it's part of a conference later on, if it's part of EA's
Yeah.
thing at some point. Like, I'll comment on, like, the 2 or 3 second teaser they give us for it, but
Oh, oh, of course. Like they would, if anything, they could have just saved this for EA plays and
yeah.
just had it as a part of an entity that way. But by saying like, oh, we're just gonna have this reveal thing, just so we could like be ahead. Like, Gorilla Collective already did their thing last week. Indie Expo did their thing last week. We had a bunch of like an insane amount of trailers dropped the other week as
Yeah.
well. Like past 2 weeks have been trailer, constant trailers being dropped of everything. Like, oh, it's mind boggling. We're not even at E3 yet, and I already feel exhausted.
You get a feeling a
I
lot of these things have been left over from last year. Like when some of the games hit, it was such a confusing time for a lot of developers and
oh
publishers because they didn't have time to react to a lot of them. So a lot of
yeah,
this, I feel like maybe they've kept it back for a year, so we're gonna have more than we normally would get in this year.
yeah. Hopefully, it's not an oversaturation though.
I
Like
mean,
that's the thing. Like even like for reviewers, like everybody else, like we're not going to be the only streamers reacting to this stuff.
oh,
But
not by a
guarantee
long
at one
shot.
point where it's going to be like not by long, exactly. But
Yeah,
there's going
we're
to be
gonna
a
be the
point where
coolest.
Yeah, we will.
yeah,
Ain't that right? Ain't that right? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
yeah, we got a man with a scythe, we got a cat man, we got Willy Wonka over here. So we're good.
Whoa, Willy Wonka. Fuck.
I could be Tim Burton's Willy Wonka.
Or, or, or you want to be the Mad Hatter? Make a pick.
That's a better one.
Mad
Mad
Hatter's
Hatter.
cool.
All right, we'll go with
Change
Mad Hatter. All right.
places.
Oh, we technically, well, yeah, that's true. Oh, we could work. We could that this could work somehow. We could actually be one of the Queen of Hearts guards, royal guard there, Shin.
Yeah, that'd
There
be
you go.
pretty
There you
cool.
go.
There you go. We got Cheshire Cat. We got corporate Cheshire Cat. We
Yeah,
got
cool.
the Mad Hatter. Corporate cybernetic Cheshire Cat over here.
Salary man Cheshire Cat.
Oh yeah.
Gotta get
Oh,
that 9 to 5.
I gotta get that 9 to 5 and go watch my anime afterwards.
Heck yeah, you do. I was
have
looking
no
watching
so.
the anime.
The only social life, the only social life I have is a karaoke bar.
Yeah. Or
That's fine. All you have to do is
the cat
serenade me at back of
cafes.
my tie.
Yeah.
It's always good from E3. I mean, it's funny because Nintendo will just win simply
Yeah.
because they'll show one Smash character and the entire community will lose their figurative, like, just mind.
Well, they've already showed off
Exactly.
Sephiroth. I mean, how do they beat that?
I said that like during last time. Like
There's,
you started off with the big gun. Nothing's gonna beat that.
He started the
I'm
show by
sorry.
showstopper. Like, what the heck?
nah, they should not have showed Sephiroth at the start.
I know.
Yeah, they should have saved them for like this would have been the perfect time. Like we did E3, if they did the Nintendo Direct, announced it here, and they did Sephiroth at this show. This would have been like the ultimate winner
Yeah.
of E3, like the ultimate winner. Whatever they reveal here, I like. Can anybody take a guess? Like what they would think would be here? Like any Nintendo characters you guys could think of?
For Smash, I reckon it'll be Crash Bandicoot.
What,
They've
they
been
would-
rumoring that for like 100 years. Like, that's got to be a character now, right?
Uh,
Uh,
I want Phoenix, right? That's who I want.
I mean,
Good
he's
old-
been in
good
a
old
Versus game
Phoenix.
already, and he was cool in that.
I know he was in Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom, and that was great.
Yeah.
mhm.
But like, I'd love to see him in Smash.
They should put in the past version of him, the one from like the Herlock Sholmes game.
Oh god.
Yeah.
And Herlock can come out to help, but only in the Japanese one do you get the real name.
It's a really
Yeah.
good time for him to come out too, because there's a new Ace Attorney game coming out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, I knew I forgot to turn something on in the
Oh.
chat. I thought I turned it on. Where'd it go?
Doom Guy would be good too, because then we get Doom music in Smash.
Doom guy and
Oh,
the Animal Crossing
yeah.
girl that was his friend.
You enter the stage, and all you hear is the only thing they fear is you. Just
It's like, oh no, we're all trapped in a room with Master Chief. It's like, I'm not Master Chief. And I think it's the old bit music there. Do, 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 do.
Oh yeah, and then there's some sort. Oh yeah, they gotta do some weird tie-in because of like the infamous like the memes that came out when they had Animal Crossing and Doom coming
And
out the
Doom,
same
yeah.
day, and just like they literally had to have like a moment like when it's the reveal, it's her.
So
like,
what his
revealing
victory
there.
thing is him punching the air, and then she jumps out from behind him and she goes out, she just gives him a hug or something.
Oh yeah, they introduced like like team team victory poses. So like
Yeah.
that's their victory pose. It's like that is the most honest duel right there, but it works.
I would love
so
to see
well.
that. It'd be so good. It'd be so good.
It would be. Well, like I said, it's not out of nowhere because we've had Bayonetta, and she's not exactly a family-friendly character in there.
Solid Snake running around the place.
Solid Snake, man, who is killed people so bad that they just turn into items,
Chokes and breaks her neck.
jokes, and like ammo falls out or items. They morph into ration packs or ammo boxes or a
Now
med kit.
they did say I know. I remember when they were talking to the guys at Devil May Cry for Capcom, and they brought them out in the Switch, and they went, "Why now?" And they were like, "Oh, no reason. Just that if it was to be in Smash, it would be a good idea for the games to be out first."
Yes, because we need another. Unfortunately, yes, because we need another sword guy in Smash.
But he could finally have
not-
Dante versus Bayonetta, like it was always supposed to be.
There's not that many sword fighters in Smash. I think it's like 20.
At least.
That's not too bad. Of a roster of nearly 80.
It's like the roster's 3/4 Fire Emblem at this point.
Exactly, that's true. Yeah, Fire Emblem. Almost all of them have swords.
Oh, it makes me laugh every time they come out. They go like, "Here's a new character." Everyone's like excited. It's another Fire Emblem character. And only like 2 people in the audience are like, "Whoa!" Everyone else is like, "Oh, god damn it!"
I will say, if they announce another Fire Emblem character, it ain't going to be pretty.
No, I would try to.
No.
I mean, is there anyone left? They must have got them all by now. I say that jokingly. No,
No,
about 4 million characters per game,
No. They're going to announce that. Watch this. They'll announce a new Fire Emblem game,
and then it'll be in the game.
Oh.
and then that main character will be in Smash to generate hype. That's what they did with Corrin in Smash 4.
That's right.
His game hadn't come out yet. They announced the game and announced him in Smash. So
Oh, lovely.
I know, right? You gotta love that.
They did that as well with the Dragon Quest heroes as well. Like they were like they didn't have Dragon Quest 10 out yet, and or 11 even. And they were like, "Oh, look who's in Smash!" And then like weeks later, along came the actual game.
What if
The Dragon
okay,
Quest
so
character was fun.
well,
Yeah.
well, here's another out of nowhere character. What about Conquer?
No, they wouldn't. Owned by.
I mean,
It's owned by Microsoft, and there's already 2 Microsoft characters in Smash at this point.
Well,
So I don't think they would.
Microsoft is pretty friendly with Nintendo.
I wouldn't put it
So
past.
Sega.
I think Joe Dark would probably appear before we got like
Oh yeah, Joanne. Oh yeah.
Conquer, because I think Conquer's a wee bit kind of. If you can't swear, then half his stuff's gone. Like that's most of these personalities. I'm swearing constantly.
Well,
Yeah, I don't
they
know.
were able to get Bayonetta in there. She is very sexual and
It's
she is
innuendo,
not,
but she's
she's
still like
she's
that in the game.
innuendo-esque and she's very vulgar as well. So
I feel like it's really easy to tame her down though, whereas I think it's a
Mm.
lot harder to tame. It's a lot harder to tame Doom Guy.
She still pole dances in Smash. Like she's still practically naked at some points. Whereas all you have with
when she does
Conquer
her,
is
when she does her Umbral spell, she is still fully clothed. So that's the one thing they added onto it. So
she has that bikini, but it covers enough. Covers
There's a
enough.
few characters in bikinis.
Yeah. They had who did they put in the game last? Because someone was saying they had jiggle physics, and I was like, seriously? After them saying they would put Mai in the game because of the same reason. Because they brought in like Terry, and they're like, "Where's Mai Shira now?" And they're like, "Oh, she's a naughty girl. She can't be in the game." And then they brought in somebody with jiggle physics. Oh, it was somebody from Fire Emblem. No, Fire Emblem for Xenoblade.
Pyra.
Yep.
uh
And folk were like,
Do
they
love
actually did the
Pyra.
thing.
well, Mai exists in like 2 different games now. I think doesn't she? She's already in she's in Dead or Alive, most recent Dead or Alive, and I think she's also in Street Fighter, isn't she?
Pyra?
Mai?
Mai Shiranui.
No,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
in.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
not.
Yeah, I know she's in
She's
Dead or Alive.
She's not in Street Fighter, but she might be in Tekken now. I can't remember. Geese is in Tekken. No, Geese is in Tekken.
East.
Who's Terry in? Terry's in another game as well that he shouldn't be in. There's been all these
You mean-
crossovers.
Oh yeah, Mai is in Tekken. Yeah.
I was right. I didn't think it. For a minute, I was doubting myself because I was like, "Oh, she can't be there if Geese is already there." But that makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah, there's been some weird crossover. I actually need to get back into fighting games. See, with the advent of the release, of Guilty Gear coming out this week.
yes.
I need to get back
I
into
think
that
so, yeah.
soundtrack. Just like sold me in the game completely. I always love those games anyway, but I was like, I'm going to wait a bit longer because I don't know anyone that's going to get the game. And then I heard the soundtrack and I was like, I need to buy this game. It's too good.
Yeah, that's also kind of true. Like, there's some characters that basically been relegated to costumes, like in the Mii,
Yeah,
for the Mii
like-
characters as well, which
yeah.
just kind of sucks. Like, I would like to see those characters exist, but it's like, but we have them as Mii costume characters. Like, that's
It's
not the same.
Not even
That's
close.
cosplay. That's cosplay.
It's cool to have the costumes, but Rob would
I
prefer
mean,
to have the
Sans
characters.
though.
Hmm.
Sans in Smash.
At least he's kind of there, I guess.
Hmm. Let's see. Bottles. There you go. Bottles from Banjo-Kazooie. We did bring Gruntilda. There you go. Bring in Gruntilda.
I think you should bring in ukulele and then you have them look at Banjo Kazooie, but like, what the heck? So
No, that'd be too meta. That'd be too meta. That'd be too meta right there.
They wouldn't do that.
I think they'll probably turn up in one of those other games. There's another fighting game that's all indie characters. I can't remember what it's called, but it's got like Bit Trip Runner guy in it, and it's got like the guy from Cave Story, and it's got
Are you thinking of Framemakers?
I don't know, maybe.
So there's a fighting game. There's a fighting game that's backed on Kickstarter a while back. That's just indie reps.
It's probably that one. It's probably that one.
It has Octodad.
Oh god.
It has a bunch of them for the indie fighting games.
You love
There's
to
a bit
see
of
it.
running.
You do.
Octodad
Yeah.
sounds like a very broken character to fight against or fight as.
It's like
You'd
being
have to-
Bosconovich and Tekken. He just fall all over the place. And
No,
lash
your
around.
fighting ability is just like you just with control sticks. That's it. That's all you can do. Is use the control sticks. You push a button that does nothing. It'll just make a noise. Those are go. That's it.
I'm saying you wouldn't have them in a Smash game because
he's
they get tentacles and people would think the worst.
He's making
Mm.
he's making eyes at Peach. Oh no.
Tentacle Dad, get away from Peach.
So yeah, we were talking like I said, like we already have the three major events that are happening this week, starting officially Thursday, June the 10th, will be E3 or will be the Summer of Gaming with
Yep.
one and only a fellow Canadian, Mr. Jeff Keighley.
Indeed.
He has abandoned Summer of Gaming and has created his own entity.
I
He was
like
like the head of
Jeff.
the
Like he's
he was like the
always
he was like the host of that last year. Like he was like the guy like, okay, we're doing this is E3 Summer of Gaming. I'm Jeff Keighley, and now I relegate it to everybody else. I'm Jeff Keighley. Goodbye.
Do you remember when he was the Game Trailers guy back in the day?
Yes, he was originally I think his first couple major gigs I believe were on Electric Playground up here. That was done by produced by Tommy Tallarico, and also a part of G4TV.com.
G4, yep.
Yeah, way back in the day, one of the first male hosts of G4TV.com.
We didn't get that in the UK. We had to watch that online on our 56k connections.
Yeah,
We'd other shows like Games Master and like Bad Influence, which may actually be a little
Captain
bit
N in the
before.
game.
No, Captain N was just
Captain
a
N in the Game
cartoon.
Master.
No, Game Master. Do you know that guy Patrick Moore who was the astronomer? That was like
Mm,
quite well respected in the field, and he was like he always wore a monocle, and he was always telling you like about like what his constellations meant and stuff. Like not the weird astrology, but the astronomy, like the science version of it. He was well respected and stuff. And then they were like, "Do you want to be in this Games Master TV show? You can be the Games Master." And he's like, "I don't know anything about games." And they're like, "Yeah, it's fine." So they gave him a script. He had a disembodied head inside a computer, and he had like a big robot eye. It's like talking about video games. Like, Games Master, how do we get past this level in Mario 3? Well, I'm glad you asked. You just press jump 5 times, and like, what the heck's this guy talking about? Oh, if you if you get a chance, go on YouTube and look for Games Master. Like it's what I used to watch as a kid.
mm,
Like when I was younger, that was the thing we watched. I think I was in high school at the time. It was
indeed.
it was an interesting show. Bad Influence was like the BBC trying to do something similar, but just messing it up at every angle. Like getting 10-year-olds to review Street Fighter and stuff, and they're like, "I like Street Fighter because there's birds in the background." And you're like, "What?" Oh.
It just like it likes bird watching. Eh?
He's supposed to be concentrating on Dal Seaman E Honda's fight, not the little birds flapping around in the background. Good grief. That was the first time I ever did something with. I had this video player that was quite modern at the time. You could play things back in slow motion. And what I used to do is that I used to put all these cheats and stuff at the end of the show. It'd be like this really fast stream, like the last 30 seconds of the show. It'd be like compressed. It's just you see this thing zooming past. And if you took your video player and you played it back slow, you could see all the cheats and stuff, and you could write them down. It was a good idea, but the show was pretty bad. Oh my goodness! But you get good shows. You did shows like you had Jeff Keighley kicking around the place. We had Dominic Diamond. Actually, Dominic Diamond's
No,
a
but
treasure. He lives in Canada now. He's an awesome Scot, but he's away.
he lives here now. He belongs to us now.
No,
You have lost claim to him, sir.
God damn it!
All right, so with Summer Game Fest, they are like pretty much like one unique thing about all these companies is that they're all trying to work alongside each other. They're trying to cooperate with each other, so they can have a friendly presentation this year.
They're really trying.
They're really trying.
Some are doing better than others so far.
Oh yeah. Well, we already know like there's gonna be a lot of like okay, so we're gonna take a quick thing. So we're gonna turn on I think I have it set up right. If I have this set up right, please. I do. All right, so we're gonna show what what exactly the website for Summer Game Fest looks like right now, guys. So we're gonna take a look at so this is all the titles that will be presented during Summer Game Fest 2021. These are all the devs partaking. Oops, thing's not working. Oh, that's what. Okay, there you go. There we go. So we got 2K, we got Activision, we got Prime Games because they're a thing now. Annapurna, Blizzard, Capcom,
Oh, is
Devolver.
No, I thought it was. Who's people's doing Stray? Is that Annapurna or is it someone else?
Not sure. Dotemu, EA, Epic. So EA will be somewhat represented here. Epic, Finji, Frontier, Gearbox, High Res Studios, Inner Sloth from
Good
such
old,
titles. Good old
good
Inner
old
Sloth,
Among Us people.
Among Us, and Henry Stickmin as well.
Mhm.
Koch Media, Mediatonic, Mihoyo.
The guys that
I
do
don't-
Genshin Impact.
There you go, Genshin Impact. Yeah. Bandai Namco, Grimm's favorite company. Netflix,
Netflix have got a gaming
Psyonix.
division. Did you know this?
Yes, I know.
I'm not surprised nowadays.
We
Freshly minted
You know
this
what's
year.
weird? Yeah, you know what? We never really, the entire time they've actually talked about this, we've never mentioned it once on the show. Have you noticed that?
Because they've only really put any output yet. This must be the first game they're going to show off.
Yeah. Well, they announced it like a few months ago that they were actually becoming a thing, and I don't think we ever found the time to bring them up.
Because we didn't really
Uh,
believe them, I think.
that's true. That's true. We have Raw Fury, Riot Games, Saber, Sega,
Oh, Sega are
PlayStation,
doing something
Prime.
then.
Yep. PlayStation, Prime Gaming, Squeenix, Steam, Tencent Games, Tribeca Festival 2021, powered by AT&T. Don't forget that. Ubisoft, an Ubisoft original company. Warner Brothers Games, Wizards of the Coast. Because why not? You live on the coast,
That magic
might as
game's
well.
pretty good.
Yep. And then finally, Xbox.
So this is all part of some of the games that's separate from E3 then.
These are all the presenters that will be. These are all the Summer Game Fest partners.
Now, see if that's all on Thursday, that's fine. See if that starts rolling into the week, whilst E3 is also on. That's going to be problematic.
Yeah. That's gonna be problematic, and at the same time, also the fact that their schedule is very small. Like as you can see, this is their schedule so far. This is based off of Pacific and Eastern daylight times. For me, this is like an hour behind the Eastern and 2 hours ahead of the Pacific. So we got the kickoff live tomorrow morning or Thursday morning for Pacific, but like Thursday afternoon for me, Thursday early evening for you guys, which is kind of nice. Which we did mention before the show.
Yeah.
This year, the digital events are very friendly to multiple countries, time wise.
Very
We got
nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. Thursday this is Summer Game Fest. We're not talking about E3. We're not talking about summer gaming here. So we got so it's strictly Summer Game Fest. So then we got Geek Netflix, where this one it's currently going on right now, actually on their Twitch channel. It's going
Really?
from the 7th to the 11th. Yes. This episode is, or this week's or that day's stream is going to be dedicated to talking about films and shows or debuts of films and shows based on your favorite video
Right.
game.
So the video games don't start officially until Friday, but they've got stuff going on about things related to video games before that. That makes sense.
We also got we also got the Tribeca Game Spotlight starting around this pretty much immediately following the Geek Week show or Netflix showcase. Then we have Koch Prime Time as well.
That's Coke Media.
Koch.
Yep. It looks like cock, but it's pronounced Coke.
I thought I went with Koch. I didn't want to call it that. It's Koch. Thank you. Koch. Now we're speaking Klingon. Oh. Koch.
Oh yeah.
Phlegm. So much phlegm. Yep. Oh, load more. I didn't even realize there was a load more button. All right, so we have Ubisoft Forward, and then we also have the Devolver Digital, which there is a bit of a conflict there.
There's a whole bunch of ones
time-wise.
missing from there. There's a whole bunch of other ones before that too.
So yeah, so this is actually just showing that like it's so diverse of like what's available, what's going on. Each site is basically kind of developing themselves. Like even Back for Blood has their own showcase.
Yeah, that was
on
originally meant to be
Sunday.
Warner Brothers, and then it's became Warner Brothers Back for Blood.
They just became Back for Blood.
To be fair, like
Warner Brothers.
people are reckoning that's when they're going to announce their next alpha or beta. Like then it's going to be going live that same day, which is why they're concentrating just on that game.
Yep. Because we already know when the game's coming out.
Yep, October 12th.
Still annoyed about that.
Yeah.
Still annoyed. I got a beta key for that, but they gave it to me a day after it ended.
God damn it.
I know, right? I'm like, I'm so. Damn.
Now, we'll sporadically react to this one. like kind of like see because it's like 6 days, but mostly it's just like presentations on the actual Steam app on your like the Steam website or on your Steam app on your PC as well. Because this is what happened last year, where basically it was like, hey, Steam Next Fest. Whenever you went onto Steam, there would literally be just on the main page, it would just be a little screen showing a stream going on,
Yeah.
pretty much announcing what's coming up. So we'll be keeping an eye on this one, but we'll most likely be tackling that when we get to the Experiment podcast, like the following week, just to kind of cover those 6 days. But they go on to like next month. They're partnering with EA to take place at EA Play Live, which is still yet to be announced for July. We know it's
Well, you
happening
know,
on the
it's
22nd,
yeah.
but
I would just
when?
know what the dates are in at the time. Sorry.
Yeah. And we have the Sonic Symphony coming up, which we probably will, which we may be able to allow to watch, but most likely probably highly recommend. Don't stream your reaction to it. DMCA is nowadays on this channel.
Yeah, I need to be careful with that stuff.
Even I was careful with a tribute band during Indie Expo this past Saturday, where I legit just muted everything just to save face.
You would probably have been okay, but it's hard to tell. Like the Jeff Keighley's saying that his stuff is already approved ahead of time, so nobody will get strikes. But EA stuff, not E3
I wasn't.
stuff, there's no guarantee because
Yeah.
they bring people out whenever they feel
E,
like it, and they don't even know what's coming out.
yeah, E3 basically doesn't really do music anyway, so
Yeah, usually Jeff does that stuff with like his Game Awards shows and stuff.
yeah.
He's gonna be busy
It's
this year.
yeah, yeah, he's been
Yeah.
busy this year, but it's sort of like we don't want to
So we actually forgot to
we don't
mention
want,
who the host of E3 is this year as well.
oh yes, I do have that set up as well. Give me one quick second. Some lovely hosts for E3 this year.
Yes, indeed.
Lovely, lovely hosts. Give me one second. I gotta open it first. But anyway, so we got E3 coming up. Before we do that, we actually have to talk about what starts immediately the day after Summer Game Fest starts.
Yes.
We got IGN Expo, IGN Summer Gaming 2021.
So that's on Friday, the June the 11th.
Yep, Friday, June the 11th. And
So
they do have
that's also when Coke Media's prime time starts, like an hour before it.
Yep. Oh, speaking of the devil, you guys can talk amongst yourselves. Give me one quick second.
Okie dokie. So yeah, there's a Friday's a weird one because at 5 p.m. we get that Netflix Geek Week thing starting. It's started early already apparently, but actually like it's starting officially on Friday. I'd be interested to see what Netflix think they're gonna bring out that'll be good for us because they did the Witcher TV show and have done other shows like Castlevania. What could they be cooking up? Like what would they have? I don't think they could have done Amazon and pull out a new MMO or something like, oh look, Newer World, try and play this. I don't know what would Netflix what's their original properties that they have that we can make a game out of? Because everything I think of, it's all licensed properties from other companies.
Stranger Things.
Yeah, I guess actually that could. I mean, why not? I guess.
Let me quickly
And I'm
log
back.
into
Hello.
my Netflix account.
Welcome back. We're trying to just guess like what Netflix would bring out as a game, like what they have that's an original property.
They
That
have
could
a
make
lot
game
of original. They have a lot of original animes on Netflix.
They do. They
That's a good point, actually. They could anime makes sense to use game properties. You can make a lot of fighting games very easily out of anime.
Yeah.
Or waifu
Oh,
games.
that's something I'm expecting. Some Arc Systems action.
Yeah.
Either in the Xbox or the play, or probably in the Xbox stuff, not the PlayStation.
I'm gonna play some
'Cause
Guilty Gears.
I'm expecting either the Guilty Gear information, or they're going to be making another, not a Fighter Z, but like something else based on an anime, either like My Hero, Naruto, or One Piece.
Well, what
Those are
they
like the
could
big
do
three.
is
Ooh.
Arc System Works haven't done. Maybe they did that crossover with BlazBlue and like Ruby and all that stuff. They haven't done a crossover game like that since then. It's been a few years.
Elite came out a while ago saying that Arc Systems are making a My Hero Fighter Z esque fighting game.
Okay. That could work. I know what's that anime everyone loves just now, Demon Slayer. That's got an anime game coming out, a fighting game.
It does. It has a 3D arena fighting game, like a lot of other animes
Oh, okay.
games.
I wish to go back to 2D in some of these games. It makes them easier to play, or better to play rather. 3D ones
Yeah,
I feel like
3D
they've run around for
arenas are
ages.
difficult.
They're fun for the first 5 minutes, and you realise like it doesn't matter how skillful I am. If I'm unlucky here, I'm going to lose. It feels a bit chaotic. I guess like
All right.
would Netflix team up with Sega for a Sonic game based on their new anime they're bringing out, or
Well, they kind of do. Like, they did announce, like, during the Sonic 30th anniversary stream, which was one of the streams that happened earlier, a couple weeks back. They did talk about, like, they're doing the Sonic Colors anime series alongside their
that's
Sonic
right.
Prime series. So we actually have two Sonic series coming to Netflix, coming out next year. So we have one that's based off of Sonic Colors, and then one called Sonic Prime.
Sonic Prime's based on the IDW comics, the newer series, not the one that was launched by Archie. So this is the one
Yeah.
that's currently running just now. I know Chaos will be all excited about that. He loves his Sonic.
Yeah. So we already know he'll be watching the Sonic Symphony in a couple of weeks.
Indeed, indeed.
So with IGN Summer of Gaming, they're pretty much working hand in hand with E3. So it's pretty much they're an extension of I guess in a sense, Summer Gaming is an extension of E3. So when E3 is not doing anything, it pretty much is like, okay, if we're not doing a showcase here, IGN, you take over. It's like, oh, okay.
You know, speaking of Netflix and anime, I did not realize. I was just checking if it was trending, and apparently Cowboy Bebop's getting a live action
Oh
Oh
yeah,
no,
on Netflix.
I saw the
no.
casting for that. I don't know.
The original composer's coming back to do the soundtrack.
The original, one
Okay,
of the
that's
original
good.
writers is involved as well from the anime, so like they're trying their best to make it like as authentic as they can. But every time I think of a live action anime, I think of bloody Death Note, and I'm like, no, come on.
I mean, you could think
No.
of anything that Netflix has made when it comes to the live action stuff. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's the Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood live
Uh,
I never
action.
watched that,
There's
but I heard it was
the
bad.
the Bleach live action.
I don't know if I've not watched, but I heard it was bad too.
There's
That's
an
what I mean.
initial
Like,
D live action.
yeah, like when they basically say, "Oh yeah, we got the original writer, we're bringing her back to the original composer." It's like, all right, why don't you bring back one of the original directors who knows what the hell's going on,
I just think Cowboy Bebop
please?
doesn't need any sequel
It
or update. Like
it's
it's fine where it was. It was a nice little
it's a
compact story.
it's a timeless story. Like when you watch it, it's really fun to watch. Like it's a fun. Music is great. Music is
Mm-hmm.
great. Storytelling, the characters are great. The actual premise in the world is good. Um, But yeah, like when they try basically, because guaranteed when they've said, like, oh yeah, we're gonna have one of the original writers in, they'll initially write the original script, but then they'll
Yeah.
hand it over to somebody who basically will try to say, let's throw some modern jokes in there because people like modern jokes. Let's make jokes that are gonna be dated in like a year.
Yeah, you can date a
What?
show very easily by allowing someone to use modern lingo.
Yeah,
Fortnite dancing will be obsolete. What do you mean?
yeah, everyone still flosses, right? Right?
My favorite.
Right?
Ask Ninja about that.
Right? Even he probably just says,
Sorry, who's
nah.
Ninja again?
Like it's like, no, that was just a phase I was going through. That's probably what his response would be.
He
It
just
was
wasn't
just a
seeing enough
phase.
movement.
Exactly. Yeah, because I still remember that from that one convention.
Reach
Trying to
out
convince
doing.
everybody in
Yeah.
this big audience to floss with him. Only like the first like 5 or 6 people are floss with him. Everyone else is like, no,
He forgets as
we're not.
well that the majority of the folk that were in the audience were press. They ain't going to be flossing with anyone. They're there to get a story.
Like, I'm sorry, Ninja. We got a thing here called, I don't know, what's it called? Dignity?
Can you imagine if the camera panned it round and the giant bomb crew were doing a floss or something? Like, that would be ridiculous. Like, folk would be like, lose all respect for those guys immediately. That's
No,
never
their
going to
attention would
happen.
go right to that. No, their attention would go right to Giant Bomb. They would self care like, who's cares about Ninja? It's Giant Bomb flossing, guys. Check it out.
I just couldn't see anyone doing that. Can you imagine them
Yeah.
going, oh god.
Oh yeah. So basically, what like when I've said like they're kind of like an extension of E3. It's pretty much almost the exact same, almost similar schedules to E3, except for a few minor a few minor pieces.
Yeah.
Like one being the Guerrilla Collective, which was started their run last week, which is roughly like an hour, roughly almost an hour long show, roughly.
Do we have
Then
any
they also
data
have
on
their
this wholesome direct that's following that? Because
it's
I don't know what
it's
that is.
pretty much it's pretty much going to be after that. Wholesome Director is basically more or less more or less a showcase of video games that are more likely more family friendly or tied to like younger audiences.
Who's running
Like
it though?
basically, I believe it's going to be Collective Gorilla as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're going to be doing like one showcase where basically you're going to show off. They're going to be very very like open and like very uncensored sort of sense. But when they get to the wholesome part, they're basically say, okay, this is something that's for the kids and only the kids, and for parents who want to get their kids into video game, but not like to throw them into something like a Doom or something. But saying, and hey, if your kid's first game is Doom, there's a lot of questions for right there for you. Um,
I mean, what
one,
was
why?
my first game wasn't Doom, it was Space Invaders. But if I think about the first game I played on a PC, it was probably Doom, and I was early in high school, like maybe first year.
Well, okay, that's high school though, versus like when you're like single digits.
Yeah, I guess. But
Unless you
yeah,
were high school, like when you were 8 or something, when that'd be impressive, and be asking, why are you here?
Sheldon Cooper.
Yeah, exactly.
If
Like we said, like we have. Oh, go ahead.
let's say if you notice Ubisoft have got like a pre-show that's on for an hour.
Yep.
Why?
That's when that's when wholesome. That's because that's when Wholesome Direct is actually happening. Because Gorilla Collective is going to be doing theirs, or no, actually, sorry, Gorilla Collective is going to be doing theirs at about 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time. That's for me, so it's about 4 for you guys. And then they're going to be doing their wholesome gaming thing afterwards at about 2 hours later. So this one Gorilla Collective is actually going to be longer this
So yeah,
time.
the Wholesome Direct conflicts with the E3 pre-show.
Yeah, I know. Like, there's gonna be conflicts here, so it's sort of like, okay, we have to pick and choose where we need to go. This is why it's gonna be. There's some conflict, some minor conflicts, some major conflicts, like with what was it? Gearbox and who else was there?
Devolver.
Devolver. Yeah, they're happening around the
Mm.
same. There's pretty much like 15 minutes of like Devolver that kind of bleeds into Gearbox's entertainment presentation.
From what it looks like, Gearbox are focusing on Godfall again,
Oh God.
which says
Oh,
to
you
me
mean the game?
that's coming to Xbox because it's already out in PC and PlayStation. What else would they be advertising it for?
No, the game that you played doesn't exist anymore, Shin. Remember?
They did not need to say
Game,
any of that stuff at the start of their conference. That game was fine. They just have left it. The stuff might not be in the
uh,
game, and you're like, what, the whole of this demo that you're showing us might not even be part of the
pretty
game.
much. That's pretty much what the disclaimer said. Anything you see in this demo may not be here when the game is finally out.
Guess
And
what?
what did
It
we see?
was.
Everything. Everything we saw in that demo was in the final product.
And it was fine. I like that
Yeah.
game.
Well, yeah, like I said, but with IGN, we're pretty much gonna get the same crew we got last year. Hopefully
Oh,
with
yeah.
less, cringeworthy jokes.
Well, they don't be doing as long as they did last year because they don't have that time to fill in anymore.
But you don't like
Uh,
corporate humor?
it wasn't
It's
even
just
corporate
dad
humor.
jokes all the
It
time.
was it was dad jokes and creepily staring into the souls of his
It
viewers.
was poorly timed
Like
dad jokes. Like they would tell a joke and the timing was so off for it that it would just come off really clumsy.
Well,
the
it can't
female
be as
host is
bad
doing
as.
a no.
I'll go for it.
Go ahead. No, go for it. Go for it.
I was gonna say it can't be as bad as Rick Sanchez being in Fortnite. Eh?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, and I said what I said was worse. Like Superman carrying a gun.
Batman carrying a gun. Never mind.
I mean, there is Batman alternate universes where he
No,
carries a gun, but
I know, but this is Bruce
Superman.
Wayne Batman. This is OG Batman,
But I mean,
not Thomas Wayne
you
Batman.
wouldn't have Superman who is like able to fire lasers out his eyes, do ice breath, like punch dudes so they could fly across the other side of the planet, carrying around a machine gun. It seems unnecessary.
He's just making it fair for the competition.
Why
Yeah.
would he? And Rick Sanchez, he's just using portal guns on folk and knocking through the floor. It just like I get the metaverse idea and everything, but it stops working when you bring in characters that you can't imagine carrying guns. Ryu and Chun Li from Street Fighter run around with machine guns rather than doing Hadoukens. What is going on? Like, what are they trying to do? You make a metaverse, you make it like Ready Player One, where it's like a big open world and you can run around and do things together. You don't make it like a game where everyone has a machine gun, regardless of who they are and the actual world they come from. It just seems weird.
Yeah. Eh,
I'm not a
it
fan of
happens.
Fortnite, to be fair, so this just falls flat for me. Every now and
Yeah.
again they do like an announcement. They go, "Oh look, this character you really like from the comics, like Harley Quinn, is going to be in Fortnite." I'm like, maybe I should play that. And immediately I look at the game and go, "Nah." It's like the idea was in my head for a couple of seconds until I realised what the
I'm
game is.
good.
It's like I don't need that in my life. Don't need it. The
Yeah.
other games with Harley Quinn in them that I can play instead.
All right. So, like, well, we can talk about E3 right away if you guys want to. We can dive right into that if you guys would
Sure.
like.
Mhm.
All right. So, first off, we're going to talk about, we've already mentioned the host, so we already know. I knew we forgot to make a little thing for the hosts part, or at least we know who everyone knows who Jeff Keighley is. Everyone knows him because
Well,
he's everywhere.
he's more some of the games rather than E3 now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Well,
our,
he used to be the voice. He used to be the voice of E3,
it
and then he
was.
backed out. He was the reason everyone was excited for E3. And then when he heard he wasn't going to participate last year, prior to the pandemic, we were all like, okay, so what is E3 going to do?
E3 was falling down a
And
hole at that point because they leaked out all that media stuff, like all the addresses and names and phone numbers of all the press that were like at the events,
yeah,
and they all get phone calls and death threats from psychos. So like, there was a reason why E3 was under a lot of duress.
yeah. And then thankfully the pandemic, like on in a weird happenstance, the pandemic occurred, so E3 was able to cancel themselves for that year.
It gave them a year off to actually
So
rethink what they were doing. So maybe it was a good thing
mhm.
that not the pandemic hit, but they got that extra year one way or the other. Because I think if they tried to come back too quickly, nobody would take them seriously.
Yeah. Well, also I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what we got here for this year. So let's meet our hosts for
Hmm.
E3 2021. So we have Greg Miller, former
Yes.
2015 Game Awards winner for most trending person. Yes, that was an award that year.
Now of
He
kind of
is a
funny
former.
games.
He is now a manager. He's one of the managers of Kind of Funny Games on YouTube,
Yep.
and he is a former IGN editor.
He is. And genuinely all
Getting his
known Mr. Nice
working.
Guy.
Yeah, and of course, as well, the second host is the lovely Jackie Jing. She is a former IGN host slash producer. She's also a content creator, social media director at Anime News Network, and she is an on-cam host, basically.
Yay.
Nice.
Definitely better than
Trust me, I
last
actually had to
year's.
look up her LinkedIn. Yes, and if you're asking me why we're using this photo, that was like these are the three promotional photos that were used for these three individuals on the E3 website as
Valid.
well. And then finally, we have a esports commentator, the host of various gaming events, and also one of the hosts of the returning G4 network. We have Alex Golden Boy Mendez.
Indeed.
Why is he a Golden Boy? He just is.
It's
And
funny.
no,
Chaose's glorious
he
golden
is not.
boys.
I was gonna say he's not affiliated with Chaos's Glorious Golden Boys. He is his own Golden Boy. Yeah.
Shame.
Do we have this? Yeah. Shit. So yeah, this year we do have quite the class here. Um, but like I said, each of these individuals do have like their do have a piece, do have an understanding of what they have to do to present themselves here. So we have very three professional individuals here from varying degrees. Like we've seen Greg Miller in everything so far.
Yes.
Anything and everything you could think of Greg Miller could have has done, he probably has done at one point in his
He
career.
was a host of DC Fandom last year as well, wasn't he?
I thought it was Shazam himself.
What was he on? He was in something last year. He was hosting some show that wasn't his own one.
I'm really sure he's surprisingly been hosting. No, what's it? No, he was part of the Game Awards, wasn't he?
You may have been actually. You may have been.
Yeah, it was Jeff
Probably.
Keighley. Yeah, him and Greg Miller. Kind of running around. He was part of IGN Summer Gaming at one point last year. That's where we got like our interview with the Take Two, the one guy from the director of It Takes Two.
Oh, that guy, the fuck the Oscars guy.
Yeah, yeah, he did have his own. Yeah, he did have his own like a streaming gaming event that he was partaking in during the Summer of Gaming. This is when they were trying to like diversify their hosts so people didn't get tired of seeing the same three guys or same
Yeah,
three people,
they were
and we're
right
getting
to do
tired of
that.
seeing the fuse. Yeah. So we have three variety and personalities. They are all former hosts. They're all former hosts, but they're all also current hosts of their own variety shows. Like Greg has kind of funny and kind of funny games. Jackie is working on the Anime News Network as both as a creator and a social media director, and as an on-cam host wherever you need her.
Hmm.
And Alex Golden Boy Mendez, if there's an esports event going on, doesn't matter where it is, guaranteed you're hearing them in your ears.
Yes.
So
You
we do
guys
have that
watch your
fight that
Smite
collection.
tournaments, you've probably heard his voice.
Yeah, definitely. Smite tournaments, League of Legends, pretty much any major esport event that's been happening over the past, couple of years, you've heard Alex's voice at one point or another.
Did he still call them shoutcasters? Is that still a thing?
I think
I
they're
think
kind of
so.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, I think that's a term that you can use.
Okay.
Yeah. You can still use it. It's just like kind of like lesser use. It's not like it's like oh you're being shamed and they're like oh no don't call them that.
We're bringing it back,
It's like
guys. Bringing it back.
yeah. Then we get a tweet. Yeah, then we get a tweet from Alex actually saying please don't bring it back.
It's like when people
Yeah, I
call
think
it.
if you go.
Some people would like be called influencers. Like if you see that to them, they look like they're about to throw up.
Oh God.
We are okay. By all means, guys, I could speak for myself when I say I am not an influencer in any way, shape, or form. I just have an opinion. That's all.
I've actually used the term influencer a couple of times to get into betas and stuff, so I have
Oh,
to plead the
dare
fifth.
Oh, you.
you.
It's like when I'm doing
This
sponsored
is why I say
streams.
content creator. Just say content creator.
Yeah, just say
What easier.
content creator. You'll be. Yeah, exactly. It's much easier.
Sometimes you don't get a choice. So they're just like, "Are
You
you an
have a
influencer? Or
choice.
are you pressed?" And I'm like, "Yes."
So
You
yes, so
decide.
this is what we have set up for. So this is what we have so far for this upcoming side. So on the one side we have Summer Game Fest 2021 host being nothing but Mr. Jeff Keighley himself, and of course on the other side we have Greg Miller, Jackie Jing, and Alex Golden Boy Mendez.
Yeah.
1 versus 3.
4 people
Yep,
enter,
somehow,
1 person leaves.
and it happens to be Jeff Keighley.
It always is.
Greg, we love you, but Jeff's gonna win this, right?
He's got
I'm sorry.
Kojima and Del Toro helping him. Like, I mean, what the heck?
He's got the backing of like two and as you can see, also my avatar is kind of like as you probably can see from that shot there, you can kind of see the difference,
Hmm.
or you can kind of see the similarities there, except for Jeff knows how to hide his cybernetic eye a lot easier than me.
Yeah, he's had experience though.
He's
I
had
know he
ex-
does have a face in Among Us, so he is pretty up there,
He's pretty
he is
sus.
he's pretty sus.
That's his peak.
Sure, they gave it away last year. Everyone was
You
like
made it to
racing to get
Among
them.
Us. Oh jeez.
And they gave
No,
us
no,
Among Us for
no,
free
no.
on Epic Game Store last week as well. So now I've actually got it on
Yes.
one of my accounts.
I have no excuse. Now you have no excuse.
I mean, I don't like the game. That's my excuse. But if people force me to play it, I will. I just don't like the lying part. Like, I'm not a good liar, and I don't like. It's like the game. It should be the game. I just lie to your friends. And I'm like, I
Well,
don't.
that's if you are this.
Here's the
That's
best
if you are
part:
like
just don't lie.
just don't lie.
You should always say I'm the
You can
killer.
still win.
Plead the fifth.
He always
There you
is
go,
the
plead
killer.
the
They'll
fifth.
ignore him. But it was me all along.
That's not usually have to lie. Everyone else just basically takes each other out. They just start getting paranoid and blaming the other person. It's like, no.
Yeah, it's not lying if you. Oh, god damn it! I was gonna say something, and then my brain was like, "You're just gonna forget what you're gonna say in the middle of your sentence, so you embarrass yourself."
Do you know what a good version of that game
Stupid
is?
brain.
That Project Winter. That's a good version of what Among Us is trying to do. I
It's
like
like the
that game.
thing, basically.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So basically, yeah, that's just what kind of ruined the thing for me for a couple of days. Where the people basically nowadays who played Among Us but never watched the thing will consider the thing the Among Us movie,
It's like we were
basically.
talking about the other night when we woke up and we're like, oh, there's Ryu from Fortnite in that fighting game.
Oh,
No! It's going to be that, though, isn't it? All these kids growing up playing Fortnite, seeing all these characters, and then thinking that's where they started.
yep.
Oh, it's John Wick from Fortnite.
You know, we're just like, why? Why? That's when you know you have to do it. You have to send your kid to boarding school. It's too late for
Not
them.
hit threes. It's too late. It's too late.
Send them to either
Yeah,
send them to
start
like
playing.
wizard school or ninja school.
Yeah, but then it's like, well, I don't want to be a ninja in Fortnite now.
Oh, I forgot ninjas in Fortnite,
Uh,
isn't they? God damn it.
yeah, he's one of the legendary characters in Fortnite.
Ooh.
Like a legend, am I right? Actually, I don't mind Ninja. I don't watch his stuff, but he's not as bad as people make out.
He's mellow. He's mellowed out a lot, but then again, I'm pretty sure $30 million really mellows out a person.
That'll do it.
Yeah,
If you give me $30 million, I'll say whatever you want. I'll be as nice as you want to.
careful, Bill Gates might be listening to you, or Elon Musk might be listening to you.
Bill
It's like
Gates is
30
too
million,
busy
huh?
divorcing his wife, and Elon Musk is busy launching himself into space, building robots.
That's fair.
Hell
All right,
yeah.
all right. So let's take a look at the. So we were saving E3 schedule for last. Shin has done a brilliant job in actually getting pretty much all the times down.
That was 3 different schedules that people put up. I've managed to combine into
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, he has managed. So, mind you, these are all in British Standard Time. So, if you're living in don't you start?
I would just take 8 hours away and get back to Pacific.
Yeah, you're back to Pacific. 7 hours you're Mountain, 6 you're Central, 5 you're Eastern, 4 you're Atlantic, 3.5 you're Newfoundland.
Indeed.
If you take away 2 or 1, then you're in the middle of the Atlantic.
Yeah, I think you add one, you're in Spain or Italy.
Yeah, it's true. You add a few more, you're in Japan.
Minasan ohayou gozaimasu. That's morning, right?
It's not even morning for them yet. No,
Shimata.
it's early. It's early morning.
Well, early morning counts
It's
as morning.
It's early morning. It's not like I think. Okay,
That
what's that?
counts. That counts.
It's just barely past 7 o'clock.
That's mid morning to
No,
me.
no, not 7 o'clock. 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock.
Okay,
14 hours
that's
ahead of me.
fairly early, but it's still after 2 o'clock, so
Yeah,
it still counts.
they just look. Yeah, people in Japan wake up like, why is this person wishing us a good morning? It's not even. We're not even up yet.
It's not a
We're
good
not even
morning. It's still
awake.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
What's so good about it?
All right. So this is all the so we're basically going to take a look at the entire scheduling list so far that we have that's going to be coming up for E3. So let us take a gander at it.
So I missed off the stuff that's already happened
Oh.
because there's no point in having stuff that we
There we go.
can't go back in time to see.
All right. So remember, again, these are all in British Standard Time, BST. I'm mentioning this again. It says right there, all times are in BST.
The best time.
Best time. You put a wee
You know
E in there and it is.
Eventually someone's going to basically say, why can't we have a British Eastern Time? Why would we want a British Eastern Time? Think about it.
Yep. Go
And
with
then
it.
they'd be promptly thrown out the window for that one. No. All right. So Wednesday we got ourselves our Battlefield 6 reveal, which will be tomorrow. Pretty fair to say none of us are going to react to that. We'll probably react to it the next day when we kind of like rejoin when we converse for Thursday prior to the kickoff show.
Yeah, I watched the
I
trailer
see
at
it
some
on
point.
Twitter. You see?
Well, it's like, we'll spend 5 minutes on it. It's like, it looked good. Okay. Moving on.
This is not us saying that Battlefield's gonna be a bad game. It's just none of us have any interest in it. Like that's the difference.
Exactly. I do play first person shooters, but I usually try to play them more offline just because of the environment that we're in now. Like
Yeah.
especially with the voice chat. Most people will just mute themselves nowadays, just to save face because nowadays it's easier to report somebody now in your gaming consoles.
Yes.
you know,
Mm.
anything.
Even
You're
behavior are getting back in
vulgar.
it.
Yeah, exactly. If they follow suit, we should see some major changes in Dead by Daylight
Mm-hmm.
in the coming months. So so for Thursday, we have the Summer Gaming Fest kickoff live, but there is a pre-show half an hour prior to so about 6:30 your time there'll be a pre-show.
Good to know that wasn't on
Uh,
anyone's schedule. I'm glad I know that now.
yep. June the 6th or June the 11th, we will have the Netflix Geek Week, which will be basically focused on talking about, movies and TV shows that will be debuting, talk about video games. So most likely we'll be talking about Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, the
Oh yeah.
Sonic series, most likely some Castlevania talk as well. Most
Dragon's
likely
Dogma getting
upcoming
a second anime as well. I think they're getting a new series of that.
Mhm, mhm. Movies that are probably coming out soon as well in regards to video games. Like most likely we'll probably get some more information in regards to possibly Welcome to Raccoon City. Hell,
Mm-hmm.
we might even get it over the. Well, we'll save that when we get to the Capcom one.
Yeah.
We have Coke Prime Time. Okay. Shin, you want to continue on here?
Sure. So we have Coke Primetime at 8 o'clock. They still hold the license
Mhm.
for Saints Row, Agents of Mayhem,
Oh,
and
what a flop that was.
what was the one on Mars? The way you could destruct the environments that was tied in with Saints Row. Is it Red Faction? Is that the game?
I have no idea.
I think that was the one. I think it was Red Faction. But yeah, they've got other games as well. They own. I want to say they own the Darksiders team as well.
I talk about Coke Media.
Yeah,
Wait, isn't Coke Media part of? Oh wait, no, I'm thinking about the other one. Never mind. Sorry.
unfortunately, this is the thing. Like when THQ went under,
Yeah.
half went to Koch Media and half went to what is now called THQ Nordic, which is where the
Yeah, that's what.
confusion comes in.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, don't they? Oh no.
I can never remember who owns what. Like I know that they own Saints Row and Agents of Mayhem, and that's about it.
we used to be THQ. Now we just kind of have a split personality.
So THQ, I
Um,
believe, still own Darksiders, and so I must have been wrong with that because I'm sure
okay,
they do. I'll let you continue. We'll get as far as IGN Expo.
fair enough. And we got the IGN Expo coming in at 9 o'clock
Yep.
PST, which will be 3 p.m. CDT for me, Central Daylight Time.
I'll presume it'll be on for the rest of the day because there's nothing else after that.
Yeah, pretty much. And they're going to be running long by the looks of it. So because this is going to be their only time their only time to really shine
Yeah.
throughout this entire week. Saturday is going to be one hell of a nightmare.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, we're starting off with Gorilla Collective at 4 p.m. So this is for Shin and Bear. So their evening, they're going to be going into midnight by the time they're done. They're going to be past midnight by the time you guys are done.
Yeah.
It'll only be like turning like 6 o'clock probably for me. I don't know, 6 or 7 for me. It'll be like 1 or 2 in the morning for you.
I mean, I'm used to staying up that late the weekend anyway. It's all good.
Fair enough. We got we started off with Gorilla Collective, followed up by the Wholesome Direct.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, we have the E3 broadcast pre-show, which most likely will just them talking about, what their expectations, sort of like what we're doing right now, but they're cut down to like about half an hour
Yeah.
or about an hour, where they're going to just be talking about everything here. We got the Ubisoft Forward pre-show, so again, same scenario.
What do you
Basically,
think's
them
the
saying,
over and under
okay,
of them having a musical number this year now that they've got the people allowed to go back out again with like people in weird costumes dancing around for the Just Dance intro?
I think it's more or less they're just going to look at it. It's like, do we want to deal with the DMCA nonsense that Twitch has to deal with?
I
That
kind of
Twitch
I
has
kind of
basically
miss
been
the
synonymous with?
absurdity of their conferences though. I love just the wacky and zaniness of it all. Do you remember that one where they just randomly at all the E3 conference they started bringing out like a laser tag game and we all played it on stage and we're all going,
Hell
"What
yeah.
the heck's going on?"
Yeah.
It was so bizarre.
Yeah, you know when it's bad when your audience is like, "W- what's happening? What's happening?
People just
What am I
shrugging their
looking at?
shoulders at each other like,
What the fuck?"
Exactly.
I don't know. Like with the fact, like I'm pretty sure they will have music playing, but it most likely will be like non-copyright or something like basically
Yeah.
it's just like it's going to be like it'll be presented in a way.
I'd listen to you sing.
Oh, I'm also
Aw.
awful. Even I don't like listening to myself sing. I feel when I catch myself singing, I tell myself off.
Mm,
It's like, stop it,
all right.
Shin.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. So next up we got so we got mentioned Ubisoft Forward.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a bit. This is where another conflict comes in. We got Devolver Digital starting at 9:30 p.m. BST, which is about 3:30 for me.
Yep.
And then we got Gearbox starting at 10.
Now, what I reckon is
So
Devolver's always pre-recorded, and you always go to their site to watch it. So we could just skip Devolver, watch Gearbox, and when Gearbox finishes, watch Devolver. That means you get to watch the whole lot.
fair enough.
I don't think there'll be many. Devolver, you watch more for the spectacle more than anything else. You don't really. The games that come out are really good, but you don't really watch it for the games. You watch it for whatever crazy shit they're going to do this year. Like, how much blood are they going to spill on the stage? Like, how grotesque is their act going to be this time?
That is true. And most likely they'll probably do something like, if anything, it's more or less just to kind of like, ease people off of the like, certain things, like certain woes that they have.
Mm.
So that's always kind of a good thing. Like we got a good laugh when we were watching Devolver last year. Like we had a good
Yeah.
laugh with them. We got to have some fun and just enjoy them being ridiculous. It's like, oh, this is a nice break than the cringe fest that was that was summer gaming.
The
That was
fact was,
going
it
too
was
long by
less
that point.
cringy than IGN's hosts, and the Devolver Digital thing's meant to be cringy. So, like, if they're not as cringeworthy as the people who are not trying to be cringy, that tells you something.
Yeah, that's true. Then after that, we have the Gearbox E3 showcase,
Yep.
which guaranteed it'll be them brag. If anything, it should be talking about basically games. Don't bring up the Borderlands movie. We already have Jamie Lee Curtis kind of being the voice of the Borderlands movie,
You
thankfully.
might get an
So
I
exclusive
can't
trailer.
believe the cast of that movie.
Kevin
yeah.
Hart is Roland.
Kevin Hart as Roland was like, "Are you
Yeah.
serious?"
It's like casting freaking Bob Hoskins as Mario, or like, it's just like it's like this. In their heads, they saw something different to what everyone else saw. In their heads, that somehow worked. But in anybody that's played the games, like, wait, what? And Jack Black
I-
being cast as Claptrap, like one of the most physically comical people on the planet. The way he struts himself around and does these things, are going to relegate to a voice. That seems weird. Why not have him be like the gun salesman?
It's so
guy?
odd.
There was a lot of conflict in that. Like we went into like major discussions in the during the experiment podcast about this sort of thing.
Yeah.
We had no like when we thought about like it just seems like they're just throwing names, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like just throwing big names and like this will draw people's attention. Big names. You know what? Also, like a lot of movies that had big names and were crap. There's a lot of movies out there that had big name, big, huge, like award-winning names of that year, like names that it names
If you want
in that
to
movie,
think of a
and the
game,
movie sucked.
a movie that is now fondly remembered, but when it came out at first, Street Fighter the movie had some of the biggest names, and that movie was so far away from the game, like it was so different to anything the game had ever put out, that when they released the animated movie like a couple of years later, folk were like, "This is what it's supposed to be, not that."
Okay. All right, hold on 1 second, guys.
Sure.
I just needed to reset the call because you are starting to come in garbled, sir.
Oh no.
I think both you and Bear are starting to come in a little garbled. So give me one
Oh, no.
second, guys.
Sure,
I'm
sure.
just going to disconnect and reset the call. Give me 1 sec.
Cool.
I don't know. The guy who's playing what's his Marcus looks like the actual Marcus.
It
You're
does.
still talking. How dare you still continue your conversation while I disconnected the call? How dare
I'm sorry.
I
Yeah.
come back in?
We just sit in complete silence.
You guys are just sitting there, just like we're still going to talk about the game anyway,
Yes.
the movie
Is
anyway.
it safe?
No, it is not.
I didn't like the guy.
I think-
The guy that plays like the masked guy as well. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
The guy that's like bodybuilder guy looks like the guy he's meant to be.
Yeah. All right. So I have a quick suggestion. Okay. Then this is okay. So I know we've tried to do the Google Hangout thing with Grim, and Grim refuses to do it. I, he's like the only one that refuses to do it. Because I'm pretty sure we could get the same conversation through Chrome, or through Google Hangout. So, could we try to test that out like tomorrow or something like that? Like spend like a half an hour just testing the waters, I guess, in a way.
I
See
think
if that
we can
works.
do. I think the only problem is that you only seem to become aware of issues after about an hour of running something. So like it might work to start with and then not. But
Is there any
there's no
other?
harm in trying it.
Is there any other route that we kind of utilize? Like, is there
TeamSpeak, I
Skype?
used to
No.
use years ago.
Oh God.
Skype.
Skype actually does work pretty
Well,
well.
Skype does work. Okay, I'll have to re-download Skype to test it out then. And my, is there a
That's true.
subscription with Skype
No,
though?
you get it for
No?
free. It's that's Teams is the one you do subscription for. Skype's the free version now. Like they're both the same application, but one's for business and one's for personal use.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure. All right. Well, we'll test that out tomorrow sometime. We'll try to figure out a time when we're actually gonna, all join in for a Skype session.
Sure.
All right. So we're gonna switch over to Monday now. We're done at Sunday. Oh wait, we missed a Sunday. What the hell? Hold on. I didn't scroll down too far. Scroll too far. I was like, wait, we only talked about Saturday.
I got to
right.
Gearbox and yep.
Yeah. Okay. Then we started basically having our real talk about the Borderlands movie.
I wouldn't be shocked if they hijack maybe 10 minutes of that Gearbox thing to show off the Borderlands movie.
No, they're gonna bring out everybody in their costumes. They'll have like Randy. They'll have Kevin in his Roland costume. We'll have Mini Roland come out.
Chibi Roland.
Cheap, yeah. Funko Pop Roland. There you go.
Oh,
I know Kate Blanchett's a lovely young woman, is a lovely woman, but unfortunately, I don't think.
I think she played the elf lady in Lord of the Rings, didn't she? Like the big queen high elf person.
Lady Galadriel, yes, but
She could pull
one
that
was
off.
one.
She could pull
She
it
could
off.
pull it off, but when was Lord of the Rings again? I'm sorry,
I don't know, like 2 years ago or something.
early 2000s.
She was in something recently, and she still she was in was she not in Thor as well? That was her, wasn't it? It was played Hela.
Yes, but she playing Hela in almost full body latex.
Yeah. Okay, she could pull it off. She could pull it off. There's no way she'll be the one that looks least offensive, I think, because I think she get a good bone structure and she's naturally quite pretty regardless. So I think she'll be able.
Yeah, but she is going to be having the hair of Lilith in the game though,
That's
like
fair.
IRL. We've seen the silhouette pictures. We showed them off the other like on. I think it
I'm
was,
more
on
worried about
Saturday.
Jamie Lee Curtis's Tannis because like I like Jamie Lee Curtis
I
a
love
lot,
Tannis.
and I like Tannis the character, but I don't think they match.
And wait, Krieg's gonna be in it. That's
Yeah.
interesting because Krieg's Borderlands 2.
Yep, they're basically merging Borderlands 1 and 2 together.
Tiny
They're
Tina in
only
it as
bringing
well.
they're bringing in what they figure are the fan favorites. Even though like where's Brick and where's Mordecai? Because unfortunately, as much as they say,
Where's
well,
Zero? Zero's
where-
the fan favorite.
where's Zero? Where's Gage?
Where's the girl I like with the
Maya?
giant
Where's
robot?
Maya? Where's Maya?
What's her name?
Like the
Look, just this picture
oh god,
makes me laugh.
yes, I know what
Just Kevin Hart.
I know, I seen that last week.
Yeah,
It
we were
just
looking
looks
at
so
this last.
small.
Yeah, if anyone wants to know what we're looking at, this is what we're looking at right now.
Oh, he's got a little wee body compared to everyone else.
Yeah,
Tiny
as
Tina's
you can
almost
see-
bigger than him.
Yeah, her ears almost eclipse him. So here's the thing. Like as you can see here, this is Kate Blanchett. So based on row here. So there's Krieg, that's Tina, that's Tannis. Clearly Jamie Lee Curtis is just gonna have a regular hair.
Yeah.
She's not gonna wear a wig or anything like that. They got Kate Blanchett wearing the Lilith wig because that is clearly Lilith's hair.
Yeah.
Then we got Funko Pop over here.
He's the size of one of those teddy bears you win at the carnival when you knock all the pins over.
Hey, look, okay. we keep saying this over and over and over. Kevin Hart is a great actor.
Yes, yes.
He's a great. He is
Yeah.
a great comedian. He's good in action. He's good in drama. This just seems so damn out of place to have like because we've all seen how Krieg is not a tiny guy.
If someone doesn't turn around and say, Roland, where's the rest of you? I'm gonna, gonna crack up.
Yes,
Oh,
and also the fact
jeez.
that it's also like I said, like it's based on direction too. Like we have Eli Roth directing it,
I know it's such a strange
and
choice for a
that's
sci-fi.
I know, and that's a concern too, is because Eli.
Hostel.
Yeah. No, but also at the same time, he does have that same attitude as um oh, what's his name? The director of Superman, now Man of Steel.
Zack Snyder.
Yeah, he has that Zack Snyder type of attitude in a sense,
Mm.
which unfortunately has led to bad things.
Yeah.
And this could be one of them. And they're trying to say, "Oh, yeah, we want to make this a franchise. We want this to be a franchise."
A bit
Like,
early to be talking about franchise plans. We've not even had your first movie out yet.
oh yeah, every movie, every video game movie has had a franchise that wanted to go forward with it. Mortal Kombat Annihilation was supposed to have a sequel.
Oh God.
We saw how bad that movie came out.
Oh.
This is what, and also was noted. I actually found this out just past a couple months ago. This was the reason why Paul W.S. Anderson is stuck with Resident Evil since the final up to the final chapter because
Mm.
he had the opportunity to direct Annihilation, and he turned it down. Then he said when he watched Annihilation, he regretted turning it down because he could have kept that. He could have
Yeah.
saved that movie from the state it was in.
Even if he'd made another Mortal Kombat like esque movie, like instead of that mess that thing became, it definitely get the feel like it did. They did the Batman on it, where like did like the
Yeah.
'90s Batman show the movies where they started off really good and got more and more camp as it went along until they were like just indistinguishable from the Adam West versions. It feels like they just went there in one movie. They went from being like this movie's kind of fun video game thing, but it's a little bit dark, to how much CGI can we get in one movie?
Yeah.
Bad
Now how
CGI.
much bad CGI we could get in that movie.
Oh,
But no, like I said, I really hope when we get to that presentation, Randy Pitchford does not spend like half the time talking about the Borderlands movies. Like you just started doing production, don't hype it up because if this movie ultimately sucks, everyone's gonna go right back to you and say, "Look how happy you were trying to
oh,
promote the hell out of this
can
movie that you had no idea what it was
can I
about."
can I feel like a wish thing that I want to see in Gearbox? That would be really nice if it happens.
We're gonna do the wish things after we're done the whole schedule. So we're
Oh,
gonna try.
okay. I'd have to
We're
remember
gonna
them.
rifle through. We're gonna have to. Trust me. We're gonna rifle through the rest of these. Trust me.
Okay.
Because we need to kind of keep this. Because
You can rifle
remember,
through
guys.
it. You know you spoke to me before, alright?
I know. No, we're gonna pull like what we did with what they did at Indigo
Oh,
this past
jeez.
weekend. We're gonna just
Okay.
rifle through. We're gonna give it like 15 seconds to everything. Uh, so we got the E3 pre-show starting at 4:45 BST, which is about 10:45 for me.
Yeah.
We got the 24 entertainments, the Narika Blade Point starting at 5:30 p.m. BST, which will be 11:30.
Yep.
Then we got the the Xbox Bethesda showcase starting at 6 p.m., which is going to be 12 o'clock for me.
It's
Then we got
exciting.
Square Enix at 8:15, which will be 2:15 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Warner Brothers Back for Blood, aka just Back for Blood, presented by Warner Brothers, at 10 o'clock. Then we got the PC gaming show starting at 4:30 my time, 10:30 for you guys. Followed up with the Future Game Show starting at midnight for you, 6 o'clock for me. So rip your sleeping schedule, boys.
From last year, that was about 2 hours long. So,
Yeah.
but part of
So
it
it'll
was
be
like
midnight.
what's the guys that make the graphics? The Nvidia came out and showed a graphics card for 40 minutes in a briefcase. Like, oh, this is high. I have to have this handcuffed to my hand at all times so nobody can steal it because it's a prototype. It's like, who's watching this going, oh yeah, graphics card, baby? God
You
damn.
never know. There's somebody out there.
Yeah,
All
but
right, so
minors.
that's true. That's true. Yeah. All right, and then we have the pre-show. We have the June for Monday, June 14th. We got the pre-show broadcast starting at 4 p.m. Followed by Verizon. Ooh.
Yeah, 45 minutes of
Woo!
some weird thing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All you're going to hear is
Ooh.
them saying, it's for like 45 minutes of them going, can you hear me now?
Yes, exactly. Next up, we have a television starting at 5:45 with Tommy Tellerico.
That's got to be an announcement
Uh,
thing, isn't it? 'Cause it's only half an hour.
oh, yes, it's going to be announced. I hope it's an announcement for the console release because I'm really looking forward to seeing that come out. Take Two Interactive. Why not? Because fuck the Oscars. Am I right? Am I right? Yeah, I'm right. All right. Anyway, uh, Mythical Games starting at 7:10. So basically, they're just rifling through. So it's like these are just gonna be super short showcases, like boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 like everything. So we got like Mythical Games at 7:10, Indie Showcase at 8 o'clock. 30 minutes later, we got Freedom Games. 30 minutes after that, we got Ven,
I don't even know what that
Vein,
is.
Ven,
I
and
think,
then
yeah, I think it's Ven, but I don't know what that is.
90, 90 minutes after that, we got Capcom for about half an hour.
That's going to be them going over what they brought out. That's nothing new announced on that, I don't think.
Exactly. Possible DLC
Yeah.
announcement for Resident Evil Village. And then finally, we have Razer to cap off the day
Not the
with their
streamer,
presentation.
the company.
Not the streamer. Not the streamer. Yeah, exactly. Uh, oh, yeah, the N95 masks. They might show off the N95 masks. Ooh,
Oh, actually, that's a good point.
yes. We're almost done. We're getting to Tuesday. So we got the E3 broadcast pre-show at 4 p.m. So 10 for me. Nintendo Direct at 5, which will be 11, followed up with the Treehouse presentation, which
This
will
will be on
be
for pretty much the rest of the day.
Yeah, it's
pretty
like
much.
3 hours worth of content.
Yep.
So Nintendo Direct. I might actually try to ask if somebody, a couple of Nintendo people, if they're available, if they want to join us for that
Yeah.
panel discussion, if they're up for it. I will talk to them probably afterwards and see if they're up for it because like some guests we've had on the Experiment podcast that said they would like to come back if we were discussing specific things.
Yeah.
And one of them was like, if you wanted to discuss Nintendo, you can ask if I want to come back and I'll consider it.
I know Bear
Like,
will
all
probably
right.
want to watch Nintendo because he's a fan of the Smash.
I'm just a fan of Nintendo.
He's also a fan of the game too, you know. Hey.
Oh,
I am so sorry for that audience chat. I am so sorry.
Never
that's usually
apologize.
like a me line. What the heck?
Yeah, exactly. What have I become? Uh, we have Bandai Namco follows suit at 10:15, 10:25.
Mm-hmm.
About an hour after that, we got Rorica Studios.
Never heard of them either.
Neither have I.
They get 5 minutes apparently.
5 minutes of telling us who
Playtime.
you are. No, they are 5 minutes of telling us this is who we are. Happy to be here. Good night. Uh, then we have the GameSpot Play for All showcase. And then about 50 minutes later after that, we got the official E3 2021 award show, which guaranteed Last of Us Part 2 will probably win them all.
Oh
Because
god, and
why
that,
the
that
hell
actually
not?
closes off E3 as well. That's the last official part of E3.
Yep, officially. And then Steam Next Fest follows suit the next day, which pretty fair to say that none of us are going to be. It's like, we're going to look at this. No.
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be. I'll be at work during the day anyway, so I don't know if I'll end up watching a lot of
My,
what's on there.
my voice will be recovering that day.
Yeah.
And then the next one after that is E3 or EA plays live in July on the 22nd.
So what we don't know is how many Summer of Game stuff isn't on that list because they do have a habit of having other things. IGN and GameSpot do their own thing as well, so you might have shows running at the same time as the other shows, so we might miss trailers and have to go over them later on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We'll keep
Game
an eye
trailers
on
is
it.
still dropping. Speaking of that, actually, let's see what game trailers has dropped off today so far because they've been keeping up with like dropping trailers like every day so far. Up to the point. It's most likely summer gaming trailers, so we'll probably see some repeats when we get there, which
Yeah.
kind of sucks. Game leaks have been going about, have been bouncing aboundly, saying like, "Oh yeah, this is what we're going to see," or the company's officially announcing what is going to be showing up at each of their conventions, which I have chosen not to read.
I've seen a
I'd
few
much
of
rather
them, but
be.
I've not been mentioning them because you don't know if they're going to add something else on there or something might get substituted out anyway, so
Oh, indeed, I'd much rather be surprised.
yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys are interested, Game Trailers is also going to be hosting the Summer of Gaming stuff as well. See what we got. So far, we got some Rainbow Six stuff that was just dropped an hour ago. We got a new trailer for Minecraft, the most recent update for Minecraft. We got Dissidia, Opera Online getting a trailer or character trailer.
That'll be the
Alex
mobile
Kidd,
phone one because the console run's finished effectively.
yeah, yeah, I regret buying it. Uh,
It's decided with an okay game.
uh, we got the season passes for Fortnite, the official story trailer, and the Battle Pass trailer. With, of course, Superman, because why the hell? Like, yes, let's have Superman with a gun because that's
It
not
absolutely makes
redundant in
sense,
any way.
right?
That makes perfect sense. We got the optimization trailer for Conan Exiles, which, mind you, if you do stream this game, make sure you watch how you angle your camera
Yes. Be very, very careful. That game is full on
because
nudity.
they got, yeah, full anatomy was scanned into that, was rendered into that game for both male and female. So be warned. You've been warned.
Can you imagine
Like
being the guy
Cyberpunk.
that had to record all the flaccid dongs and loose hanging boobs and
Mhm.
stuff? Like, and you
Mm.
got to go home and sleep with all that stuff in your head.
You gotta go home and sleep. Just go home and
Oh,
sleep. Yeah, and I should mention the day before the Guilty Gear Strive official trailer dropped the other day.
yep.
We also have Scarlet Nexus. They dropped the other day as well.
That game looks really
Uh,
good.
yeah, Alex Kidd and Miracle World DX official trailer
I'm
dropped the
looking
other day
forward
too.
to
So
that so much.
yes.
I love Alex Kidd. It's one of the first games I played on a Sega machine that I was aware of it being on a Sega
Mm.
machine.
Yes, so we have a lot of titles already still being dropped every day. So most likely when we get, if I might start my stream a little bit earlier on Thursday, just specifically just to look at all the trailers that have been shown so far over the past couple of days. Some of them I'll pick and choose which ones I like the most. But overall, yeah, it's going to be mostly trailer talk prior to jumping into E3 because this is a prediction stream
Yes.
after all. That is what this title is called. So speaking of predictions, let us go over because Shin, you wanted to bring up something in regards to Gearbox.
Yes. So
So, what are your predictions? What are you hoping? Okay,
what
so
what I would love to see Gearbox bring out, and this is the only 'cause it's not been a game for a long time, and I've got ideas of what it should be. I would
uh-huh.
love for Randy Pitchford to come out on stage and get booed and stuff, and then be like, "Guys, we're bringing out a new Duke Nukem game with a twist.
Oh,
Duke Nukem still thinks he's cool and has it, but everyone in the world thinks he's a joke." And he's running around the place going, "Yeah, hail to the king, baby." Everyone's like, "Check that guy out!" And they're like, it's like him trying to regain his, become like successful and famous again in the eyes of the people who have forgotten about
oh,
him and think that he's a joke. But like
mm,
there's aliens and an invasion involved, but that's all in the background that he knows about. I would love if they just did that. They got someone in professional who actually knows how to make shooters though, because let's face it, Gearbox isn't that team. They made that terrible Colonial Marines game. I will never forget that.
yes,
And
Colonial Marines. I got screwed over because Pitchford decided to take, but like, because yeah, this was confirmed. This is true that Pitchford took the budget money that was supposed to go into Colonial Marines and shoved it into Borderlands 2.
yes,
That's why the demo looks so good that it actually looks better than the actual game.
it's the same reason why Duke Nukem's Forever stunk so much is because they only showed off the one level that was polished, the one level that the actual original designers of 3D Realms actually did, and then
Mhm.
they got all the other levels that were half made and then cobbled together and stuck them with sellotape into like one game, and then launched out into the wilderness. And went, here's Duke Nukem, it's ready, guys. We told you it would come out, and I put it in. And I was like, this is like 15 tech demos sellotaped together. What the heck?
Yeah.
That game was
Yeah.
awful. That was so bad. And I played it to completion because I paid for the special edition, and I wasn't going to let them take that money from me not actually finishing the game. So I did it.
Yeah.
So you guys didn't have
Mhm.
to.
Okay. Is there any other predictions that you're wanting to see in regards to any of the events that are coming forward, Shin?
Well, I'd like to see Sega actually at some of the games show off some of their old dormant franchises coming back. We know that Streets of Rage is doing really well for them. Dotemu is doing that series for them just now, along with Wonder Boy and Monsterland and Alex Kidd. It would be good to see them bring back something along the lines of Shinobi or Golden Axe. Would love to see them come back because they're fairly easy to make games. And I say easy to make, I don't mean like I can make them in 5 seconds. I mean like it's a lower budget. The game will take less time to make because it'll be a 2D based game. Art notwithstanding, but it's easier to make a game like that than it is to make a full 3D rendered game based on a Golden Axe franchise and try and change all the ways that game plays in the first place.
Indeed.
Capcom, I'd like to see like Street Fighter 6. Even just a hint of it. Even just we're working on it right now. Here's a logo. Like just something
Not
to
Street
believe
Fighter
in.
5 Super Turbo HD Edition, like
I mean,
4K edition. Sorry, 4K edition. There you go, 4K edition.
Technically, what we've got right now is that. I don't care if it's exclusive to PlayStation or Xbox. I just want them to make a Street Fighter 6, and I want it
Hyper
because
fighting.
Ono's gone now. Like so, his vision of what that game was going to eventually become, Team Street Fighter, which is a weird direction for that series. It will never come to fruition, so we're probably going to get like a soft reboot like we got between Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 3 and Street Fighter Alpha.
All right.
In fact, go back and get Street Fighter Alpha and bring it into something that looks like Guilty Gear. That would be even better.
Okay.
I would love to play more Alpha.
All right.
What else have we got? Namco. What else could they show off? More Tekken. What's the next guest fighters, I guess? Square Enix. We know.
Hideo Kojima. Hideo Kojima is the next fighter in like Tekken. There you go.
Why not? Why not?
God.
Or we could
That'd be
Raiden in
awesome.
there.
We have Jeffrey D. Morgan in there for crying out loud. Come on, we got Negan in there, so why not?
You could have anyone, couldn't you?
Stan Lee. There you go. Stan Lee is in Tekken.
But then he can never lose, so he'd be overpowered.
Exactly.
Square Enix, we already kind of know what they're bringing out. We've got Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker coming out. We've got another Kingdom Hearts apparently in production. I guess we could see some of that.
Yeah.
I don't know what other. I would like to see Parasite Eve come back. There's now they're going through their old back catalogue of games and shuffling them around into remakes. Parasite Eve or Chrono Trigger would be a nice remaster.
Okay.
But I think they'd be better with Parasite Eve because it's more action based. I feel like Chrono Trigger would be really easy to mess up, like because it is it's very much an old school kind of top down RPG, and it's hard to like. It's very much Final Fantasy VII was convertible because they had games like Crisis Core and stuff. Chrono Trigger only had Chrono Cross after that, and that was it. And that wasn't the best in the series. Bandai Namco, I really want to see Blue Protocol. If you guys don't know what that is a brand new MMO coming out from Bandai Namco. It's buy to play. So you pay for the game once and you play it for free after that. It's a over the top anime MMO. It looks very much like all their games like Red, Scarlet Nexus and stuff graphically, but it's like it doesn't look like a multiplayer online RPG. It looks like an RPG, and it looks too good to be true. But it looks damn nice. I just want to see more of what that is. It's coming out next year in the UK, in America, I believe, because it's coming out in Japan this year at the tail end of the year. If they were to show off some of that, I'd feel a bit better about it. Ubi, which would you think we see another Assassin's Creed again? Or another Watch Dogs? Did that game sell enough last time?
I think if they do, it'll probably be a tease, but I don't think they're gonna try to release one too soon because Watch Dogs Legion just only came out last year, and same with Valhalla.
Oh, that's right. Isn't it?
So they don't. I don't think they're gonna have those two titles. I don't think they're gonna want to have release. It's sort of like
Is it Far Cry year this year, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Far Cry 6, of course. We've seen the Ubisoft gameplay trailers and stuff like that. So we'll probably get some more information from them from Ubisoft 4 when we get there at that point. So
I guess for Nintendo, what do you want to see Nintendo? We want to see Metroid. It's been rumoured that it's going to, for months even, that it's going to be a shop at E3 and no one's dropped anything official yet. I would love to see that.
Oh, yeah, Prime 4, yeah.
Yeah.
Prime 4.
And maybe, as I said earlier, like I know this is very much a wish that's never going to come true, but can we have the N64 games on the Switch, please? I want to play Wave Race.
Yeah.
I love that game. Ridge Racer 64. Actually, Namco Bandai, where the heck's Ridge Racer? Give me one of those. I'm dying here. Like we're getting all these nice retro games that are like Daytona USA that are like Ridge Racer. How about an actual honest to God sequel to Ridge Racer 6? Get that out there.
Yeah.
People will buy it now. People are ready for a new Ridge Racer.
Mm.
I think that might be me, because unless SNK have getting to show off, but they've not got any booth space anywhere.
All right. Fair enough. Bear, what about you?
Nintendo.
Yes.
Dark Side, Nintendo Exhaust Ports, Nintendo Secret Plans.
Exactly. All those secret plans. I got my bingo card.
Fair enough.
Hmm.
Alright. I'm home for a lot of things, and I know my hopes are gonna be extremely let down. Because that's what happens every Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
So you're just hoping for at least one bingo? At least
Uh
one bingo?
at least one.
At least one. Put them
Uh,
in a
at least one. That's kind of the hope, you know. We've got a few things. I
set
want
the
to see
card
that
up right.
Bayonetta 3 trailer.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Too long. They announced it so long ago.
Too soon, I would say.
So
Haven't
long
even
ago that
had
we haven't so long ago
any
we haven't even heard about it in a
no
while.
updates or anything. Won
Mhm.
that Metroid Prime 4, won that Source. Haven't heard anything about that since they decided to can the whole thing and then redo it.
Yep.
Yeah, because Other M. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh Obviously we're getting a Smash reveal. That is,
Yeah.
if they don't do that,
They,
I'll be a bit sad.
they better not do that
Yeah.
whole, like, the whole direct as a Smash reveal again, because I can't deal with that.
I put on my bingo card something called "We Already Knew This," and they're just gonna spill about 20 minutes of information that everybody already knew, because that's
All right.
something Nintendo likes doing.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Um, maybe a new IP, maybe a new
Ooh.
something new they're trying. I don't know.
That'd be
Maybe.
nice.
Luigi's Mansion 4. Back
Oh
at it
God,
again.
no, they won't. They won't hit us with another Luigi's.
Luigi's Revenge. There you go.
I'm expecting some Persona action on the Switch. Want
Yeah,
me
there's
some
Oh,
been some
okay.
Persona
heavy rumors
5.
about that recently, about Persona 4 and 5 being popular enough on
Um,
Nintendo.
Maybe some Game Boy games on the Nintendo Switch Online.
Ooh, there you go.
Would be nice. A Mario Kart update would be nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
go if I
Seeing as
get
they
one.
updated, they updated the Mario Party recently to
Yeah.
have online. So I'm hoping that they update Mario Kart. Maybe some new characters, some new tracks would be really cool.
I would love
Or
that.
just a new Mario Kart. That'd be that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, I think there
Second?
might be a new WarioWare.
They've been questioning folk about that, haven't they, through surveys and stuff in Japan?
Mm,
Would you
Okay,
pay
you might
full
want to
price for a
repeat.
WarioWare
Oh,
game?
Bear, you might have to repeat that. My alert went off for a raid,
ah,
so it overshadowed your what you were just talking
oh no,
about.
you're good. You're good. I said maybe like a new WarioWare would
Yeah.
be nice.
That would be a good choice. That would be a good choice.
Jeez. I think I would maybe a little Super Mario RPG action. Maybe either a HD remake or bringing it to the Nintendo Switch Online
Well, they're
would
friends with
be.
Square again, so you never know.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. You know,
But for how long?
Don't say
you're
that.
not wrong.
You know I'm right.
Doesn't mean you have to say
Yeah.
it.
I put because they sent out rumors recently that the Mario Odyssey team were making a Donkey Kong game. So I'm
Oh,
expecting to see something Donkey Kong related.
that is a good one. That is well, yeah. Like Tropical Freeze was like the Donkey Kong series that we had so far. Like Donkey Kong Returns and Tropical Freeze. They did really well.
They
Like they
did.
were
Well,
fun.
I think they might
And
make a like a 3D
Like,
Donkey
like
Kong
a Donkey
game
64
with
kind of
oh,
game.
country,
so
like another
take another
64
shot.
game.
I feel like that with the technology we have now, it should be easier to do that. And it's sort of like if they try to say like, oh, we're gonna have another collect fest like we had with like Mario, or with like with Donkey Kong 64. It's like, have you done the Moon Quest in Mario Odyssey? Like, have you
Yeah.
done? Have you
That's
looked?
fair.
Have you found all the moons?
As long as you can finish the game and get an ending without doing all that stuff, people don't tend to mind that they can go
Yeah.
back and get the true ending
Yeah,
if they want it.
I mean, there's probably not going to be any Pokemon because Pokemon usually do their own thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
And we just and
I
most
did put Pokemon down just in
They
case.
did show off
well, they
that
did.
nice looking, like the Feudal Japan one, like a couple of weeks ago.
Legends Arceus, yeah.
That's the only one I've been. I don't really care about the other one, but that one has got my attention. I'm excited about that one.
Uh,
Maybe a
all
new
right.
Kirby game
Ooh,
Yeah.
would
there's
be
one.
nice. I
Meta
also
Knight,
put
Meta Knight standalone game.
Yes.
imagine. I know. I
Yeah,
put.
indeed. Imagine. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know. Indeed, imagine. No, I would put down more information on Splatoon 3 because they did announce Splatoon 3 a while back, but they haven't
Okay,
really
Yeah.
there you
shown
go.
We'll probably
anything
get a
on
wee
it.
demo or something of it. Do you reckon we get the Switch Pro information we're all hoping for?
No, because I removed that from my bingo card because they said in the announcement it's a software exclusive Nintendo Direct.
Right.
So they're probably not gonna
Oh,
announce any Switch Pro
So
stuff.
like
so
no sneaky little logo at the end, like there's a teaser or anything.
Well, I put
you
that
know,
on my card. I put, and there's one more thing because
Yeah.
they always do it. So
yes.
I've put that down. That's gonna happen.
It's like somebody
One
walks
more
on stage
thing.
and brings out like a Switch Pro out of their pocket, like Reggie did that one
Oh,
time.
it's
No, it's just
see,
no, like yeah, it's just Reggie returns. He's like, oh hey guys, and he's like, oh I forgot to give you. And he pulls out that Switch Pro and hands it to the presenter. Oh yeah, I forgot to give this to you before I left Nintendo a couple years back. Here you go. It's like it's been
yeah.
with
Well,
you
don't
this entire
forget,
time.
it is it. They haven't done a stage show in so long because this one's gonna be just a direct. So
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
I
just
know, no,
a
I know,
typical
but
spiel.
no, just to have that moment happen, even on a direct
Would
thing,
be
like have
nice.
Reggie just pop up randomly, just like, oh yeah, I accidentally left with this, and he hands him the Switch Pro. It's like we've been
Yeah.
looking for this for like for a good year now. You've had this the entire time. Yeah, why didn't you give it to us? The pandemic,
I miss the
social
stage shows,
distancing.
and I think I feel like a lot of that disappeared when Miwata passed. Like the guys that are in charge of Nintendo now don't really like to be out on stage very much. I think
Yeah,
Miyamoto maybe would still do it if he was asked, but I think he needed that other person next to him to be the kind of foil for him a little bit, and he's not got anyone doing
yeah.
that now.
Well, he's got Nintendo Land to take care of in Japan
It's
now. So,
true. It's true. Yeah, it's a good
anything
list of
else there?
stuff.
And the last one that I put down is I just put what question mark, and it's just something that nobody asked for at all. It's gonna be some like weird
Like a
chibi
vitality
puzzle
These-
sensor.
game. Yeah, some weird ass pull that they're gonna do, and nobody was asking for. They're gonna do like it's the Switch Pro hard monitor. It's fucking, you're gonna love this.
Oh yeah,
Oh
that'll
no,
or
that's
some
something
mobile phone.
stupid.
Oh, shall we talk about the partnership with that mobile phone company they've been making games with? Like
10 cent.
they were Tencent now.
Well, the Pokemon are.
Okay,
I'm not sure if Nintendo is, but they're still. They 10 cent were making a League of Legends Pokemon game that still has not come out.
that's right. That's right.
lovely.
Did you guys? This is a bit off topic. Did you guys see that trailer for Palworld?
No.
No.
It's weird. It's like Pokemon, right? And they're like, here's all the Pokemon you can collect with machine guns. And I was like,
Hell
what?
yeah.
No. Oh yeah, I watched that. We were watching that. I think I was watching that during oh, was that during the Indie Expo?
It might have been. I saw it like after the fact, and I was like, "What am I watching right now? This is like some 15-year-old's fever dream of what Pokemon should be because he wants to shoot things." Oh,
Yeah.
it's so weird, and
Oh yes.
I shouldn't want to play it, but also I'm
Slave
like,
labor. Yeah, slave labor
yes,
in real time.
you can slave
Like
labor. You get your
literal
Pokemon to work in a factory and make machine guns for you, and they stand
make
in a line and
machine
look
gun,
so depressed.
make machine guns, run mills, basically be like
You could work them to death.
literal like yeah, like they're your companions or your buddies, but at the same time they're also your slave labor.
And your shield. Did you see the one
See,
where the
this
guy
is
was shooting at
basically
with
what
a machine gun and he picked up one of the sheep
yes.
Pokemon and held it as
See,
a shield?
See, this is what people were saying about Pokemon, saying that this is what Pokemon is. This game literally is like, you think you know what Pokemon's about? Oh, we know what Pokemon's
Here's
about.
actual slave labor Pokemons, and it feels bad, but also I kind of want to play it still. Although, is that a breaking news from yesterday? Actually, I meant to put it on one of the news feeds. There's a new Digimon MMO coming out as well,
Yeah.
which may or may not be the best thing ever. We don't know yet. Unfortunately, the developers are the one that made the last two, which weren't well received. So hopefully they've learned what a good MMO
So,
needs to be.
all right. So what you're seeing, so everyone's seeing right now, we're seeing Pal World right now, the official trailer. Yes, you get to run around with giant animals. You get to ride them that look so damn close to actual
Oh yeah,
Pokemon.
there's
It's
one that
almost a
looks
lost.
obviously like the what's the one that Gyarados. There's one that looks dead
Well,
exactly like Gyarados.
like as you can see, slave labor
You can
at
beat your
its finest.
monsters to make fire serpents and stuff, which I think is a good idea. But
You can shear your sheep animals. You can have them fight for you. You could shoot at them.
you can give your animals guns and they'll shoot them too.
Yep. There it is. There's the Gyarados one. You can crossbreed apparently.
Oh god.
It's such a
You can
strange.
kill. You could use your animals as shields, human shields, and discard them like they're nothing.
That's
Yeah.
terrible.
So
Destructible environments.
in some ways,
Oh,
it's either
gee.
going to show people that this kind of thing
Oh
shouldn't be or should be.
no. Yeah, like that. Okay, so there's that image right there. All those little penguin creatures,
Oh, you let you get the
all
water.
all all bunched together in a cage, and then you have literal weapon manufacturing going on.
You can eat the monsters as well if cause there's a survival game too. If you get too hungry,
Yeah,
you can eat your companions.
yeah.
It's dark.
Look how happy they look being your slave labor.
They're so happy to be there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there it is.
The pension plan must be so good.
Yeah, it better be, or else they're getting screwed. There's assassinating a warthog using a giant Totoro-looking Pikachu
See,
over
yeah,
here.
you can be a poacher as well in that game.
Like, look at that. That is literally a Totoro.
Hmm.
There's no there. This is shameless right here. This is right now
They're
shameless.
literally ripping off monsters from all sorts of different games and changing them just enough that they can't be
Studio no.
sued for it.
Oh no, no. Studio Ghibli's gonna sue somebody for this one. We're gonna see this. This is the only place we're ever gonna see this thing is in this trailer. That's it. Yeah, that's clearly not Bowser.
Oh
That's
yeah.
that's clearly not Bowser's shell right there, guys.
No, not one bit.
Not one bit. It's not the same color. It's not doing the same moves. You're literally using the same animals as bait. Oh God, that's terrifying.
It's
Throw
Nintendo's
your
lawyers are
electric.
looking at that rubbing their hands right now.
Yes, they are. Nintendo's lawyers is like, so good luck on your opening day. Or you better be successful on your opening day. Why? Because we're going to be suing your ass. Yes. This has been done in parodies because I remember this being done like in
Oh
the
yeah.
parodies. Like the parodies were basically like where what was it, like the trainer had like threw a what was it, he threw a Pikachu into the water and had him just use Thunderbolt and just killed all the Pokemon.
You should also see those kind of live action ones, but it's kind of dark, where they're like their Pikachu's have been enslaved for generations and they want to fight back and stuff. And it's like this is like we see when you hear about Digimon and you're like, oh, your monsters turn into like tanks and like demons and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you look at Pokemon and it's like this is like almost like the Pokemon's for everyone, the Digimon's for like the teenagers that want the kind of slightly edgier one. And this feels like somewhere in between, where it's like you give a kid, you're like, we want to make a game, kid. What do you want to see in the game? The kid's 15. He's just finished watching his first R-rated movie, and he's like, blood and Pokemon, and
Hey,
guns,
boo.
and boobs, and cars, and slavery. This kid's just writing it down. Yep. Okay, I'll go make it.
Yeah, guaranteed. Okay, so this game when it comes out, guaranteed. Not even, don't even have to play don't even need to place a bet on this. There's going to be YouTube videos, Twitch streams
Oh, yeah.
dedicated to basically complaining about the imagery that this game shows.
Because it
And
looks
it's like
quite cute as well. I think it's unavoidable that it's
it's
going to.
cute. Like yeah, that's the thing. It's unavoidably cute, but at the same time, it's very dark.
It's
The cuteness
also
and the darkness are merging into like some unholy beast
the
here.
reason we know it's not a scam game is that it's made by the same people who made the game Craftopia, which is
Yeah,
currently doing pretty well in early access. They hired another 10 people, and apparently this is what they're making. So
yeah.
I don't know. This I'm interested to see what this becomes. I would be shocked if it just gets cancelled at some point because of lawsuits and.
Oh my goodness, this game got canceled. How could any of us have predicted this? As we all look blankly at the screen.
But I would love to. I would love to get my hands on an early build of it to see what it's actually like. If it tends to ends up being a really good game, I'll be shocked. But
It
I'll be
it
surprised.
looks like a very interesting game, but basically a lot of people are gonna be focused more on less like I said, the slave labor, the fact that you can actually eat these animals,
Poach them.
or
You
eat these
can
creatures, watch them like commit massive amounts of
you
genocide on
can
their own
actually work them
species.
to death. You can work them till they're dead. That's one of the
Yeah,
one of the lines in the with the literature that goes with it. Work your animals to death.
anyway. All right. All right, let's move on from this dark subject and all right,
Yes.
so it's my turn for my predictions. My
Yes.
turn.
Hmm.
So, my predictions so far. This is what I got. So, I'm hoping for a new Injustice / Mortal Kombat title being announced at one point.
Okay. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, there was a recent rumor actually on that about a Marvel vs DC being made by NetherRealm.
Ooh.
Indeed, and I don't know how much
Warner
faith
Bros.
that Greg reported on it, and that he wouldn't report on things normally unless he's got some substance in it.
Wow, Warner Brothers and WB are Warner Brothers Games and Disney working together. That's new. Resident Evil, three things in regards to Resident Evil. A Resident Evil 4 remake official announcement / teaser for it.
Okay.
Resident Evil Code Veronica remaster or remake announcement.
I would love that.
A Resident Evil Outbreak remake with modern online co-op being announced.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Next up, Battletoads sequel with online co-op.
Or they could just go back and patch their game that they launched last
Or
time.
or they could patch the current game and say it like that. We're also talking and also bringing up Rare Game Revival. We're talking about the return of give us season 3 of Killer Instinct. For crying out loud.
Yes, that game was well
Banjo,
received.
yes. Banjo Kazooie.
I
3
wish.
Banjo 3E. Conquer. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up Conquer and Banjo Kazooie specifically is that Rare or Microsoft has stated that Rare can do these if they want to. There's nothing holding them back. They literally Microsoft has said it's this all up to Rare if they want to do this or not. So they're pretty much saying if Rare doesn't make a Conquer or a Banjo game, don't go after Microsoft. Microsoft has already said that the Rare Studio, if they want to move ahead with a Banjo or Conquer game or anything in Rare, like a Rare revival in any sense, they're 100% behind them. It's just they have to decide whether they're going to do it or not. So it's like that's pretty like that report came out I think a couple weeks ago, and Microsoft pretty much said like, look, don't blame us if if these games never come out. It's not us that decides this one; it's them if they want to go ahead with these titles. So if we pretty much have to go after Rare directly. We can't ask Microsoft this time. Microsoft would just say, nope, ask Rare. Don't come to us.
Fair.
Yeah, so that's what I'm hoping for. That's one of them.
Do you think we'll see
Oh,
you was going.
go ahead.
There's Perfect Dark show up at some point in there.
Oh no! Oh, they're going to be showcasing Perfect Dark during the Xbox presentation. So they're going to be showing that off.
There's an
That's a
interesting
guarantee
wrinkle in that now. Like, remember, like when years ago when they tried to do the GoldenEye remake, and I've obviously got it on my PC now. I can play it. The Xbox beta, like it was never came out. Now that Amazon have bought MGM, does that make it less complicated or more complicated to get that game out?
More complicated, I think. Because isn't the IP like when you talk? Are we talking about like like a specific game or
Just
specific
GoldenEye in
series?
general.
Isn't the IP still owned technically also by the original owner, the original creator of James Bond as well?
Don't know.
Because that's the reason why this whole situation has been in constant flux. It's also basically not only like the studio that owns the rights to it, but also the actual creator of the James Bond. Um,
It almost feels
like
like MGM were one of the big stopgaps at one point. They were like blocking all the stuff, and now that they're gone, and Nintendo and Microsoft aren't hating each other anymore. I guess the only person holding it up would be the creator then, if that's. And obviously, likeness
yeah,
rights for Pierce Brosnan and like everybody
well,
else
I
that's in
think
the movie.
well, that's what I mean. I think that's the reason why because we got GoldenEye Reloaded or whatever the hell it was called.
Oh, and what
It
was the
was
Rogue Agent one as well?
it was Daniel Craig instead of Pierce
That was
because
horrendous.
they wanted to keep it modern. That's one of the reasons why they probably didn't want to go ahead with having GoldenEye be remastered. Was because of the fact that they had to basically pay Pierce Brosnan like royalties,
Hmm.
and they didn't want to do that because
Yeah.
he wasn't their James Bond anymore. So they wanted to keep it Daniel Craig. So we had to have Daniel Craig be the face of this thing, and which is everybody's like, why? Why couldn't you just get Pierce back? It's like because they don't want to admit the fact that they had a terrible falling out with
They
Pierce.
made a Sean Connery game when when they were in between Bonds. Like, I mean,
Yeah, but the relationship with Sean was a lot better compared to Pierce. Pierce
yeah,
would promise another movie after Die Another Day and never got it.
he got they got the cancellation by phone call.
Yep, that's
It's,
just as bad as getting it FedEx to you,
yeah,
or nowadays a text,
yeah,
fired by text.
or
That's just
a Facebook message.
a tweet. There you go, a
Oh,
tweet.
jeez.
Good luck in your future endeavors. Uh,
Yeah.
all right, so let's continue on with the
Mhm.
wish list here. Konami game IP is being revived by other companies such as Silent Hill or the Metal Gear Solid series.
Yes.
So, like another company coming out, because yeah, the rumors are still flying around that Konami might be selling their IPs to Sony. But there also could be other contenders stepping into the fray. Like if we get Microsoft behind there, we can actually see a proper revival. Like actually say like, hey, remember that Silent Hill collection that came out a couple years ago? We're
Yeah.
gonna fix that.
I think it's more
Like
likely that they'll keep up
really
with all the
fix
properties,
that.
but they'll get someone else to step in and do development on them, and that way they'll get the best of both worlds. Because they did that
Yeah, I think.
with that game they brought out a month ago. It's an old
Mhm.
property they've owned for years, and they got someone to do like a 2D fighting game out of it, like a side scroller, and it's doing really
Yeah,
well for them.
It's pretty
yeah, and
good.
then we have like other games like Fatal Frame, the pachinko machine.
Oh, that's Toy Tecmo though, so that's it's because pachinko's it's a common denominator with a lot of Japanese companies right now. But
Also, Silent Hill, the slot machine.
yeah, in Castlevania, the slot machine that was really
Metal
upsetting.
Metal Gear, the pachinko machine.
They had all these great graphics. They had a lot of those animations done for everything. They actually redid the whole of the cutscenes from Snake Eater and the Five engine, and
Yep,
then it was just for a pachinko machine.
yep. Way to
You're like,
Yeah, one
what?
way to really tick off your audience right there.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, so next on the wish list, we got, of course, we just mentioned the Nintendo Switch Pro, which I honestly I would love to see this Reggie make a random cameo during Nintendo Direct and
yeah,
actually do that. Because if that actually happens, that would be my highlight of E3 right there.
yeah.
Reggie just makes a cameo appearance and delivers the Switch Pro
Just on
by
screen,
accident,
showed up in
like
this little
on
video.
screen. Like, I took this with me by accident. Sorry. I was meaning to bring it back last year, but pandemic, wasn't allowed to travel, wasn't allowed in the office because I didn't work here anymore.
By all accounts, he's been a busy guy as well.
Yeah. A new Star Wars game reveal. Hoping
Yeah.
for. Doesn't matter what it is. Could be Fallen Jedi Order 3 or 2. It could be, revival of one of the older series or remastering of the older series, like, the TIE Fighter series or the Jedi Outcast series.
Oh yeah, this would be good.
Um, because like I said, like, well, what about EA? EA owns like no, EA does have certain authority, but doesn't have complete power over it anymore.
Hmm.
Especially like after the whole Battlefront 2 fiasco, pretty much um, other companies have been stepping in to kind of take over for certain games. So hopefully we'll get something like that in the future.
That'd be really good.
Um, yeah, and then after
Really
that,
cool.
the next Tomb Raider game, which actually has been discussed, they're going to be the next Tomb Raider game is supposed to be about bridging the gap between the original Lara Croft adventures and the new ones.
Hmm.
So can you see badass Lara back, but with some
Yeah.
of the learned experiences from naive Lara.
Yes. So basically, we get to see the evolution. So basically, a modernization evolution of the classic, original, at least the original first three Tomb Raider games. Not counting Angel of Darkness because that never happened.
There's a couple of games that never happened, to be honest.
Fair enough. That's true. An Uncharted game reveal
I think it's
as
Uncharted
well.
finished. Is that?
Well, I guess the story arc of like Nate is finished. Like they did kind of cap it off at the very end of the game, but there is a huge time gap.
Yeah.
There's kind of like about a good, I think about a good 12-year gap, I think, between the end of 4, the actual end of 4 and the epilogue in 4. So there's at least a good decade gap there. So there could be something that Nate and Ellie did in between.
Give us another
Or
Claudia
Nate
Black game because I could just sit and talk all day long.
Oh yeah. Yeah, another Lost Legacy game would be awesome.
Yeah.
And then here is my ultimate wishful thinking. A Dead Space sequel.
No. I don't know if you've been
Yeah.
the last few weeks. There's been HD remaster rumors going about. Would you settle for an HD remaster for the first 3, or do you want a brand new one, or do you want both?
You know, honestly, the graphics on Dead Space, the first Dead Space, are still good.
Yeah.
They're gory, they're gritty. It fits perfectly for the gory sci-fi that it is. That the Dead Space is. Dead Space 2, same thing. If anything, it's just almost. If anything, they do it for HD remaster of all 3 of them. It's just gonna be smoothing things out, and sometimes smoothing things out doesn't usually go the best way because it kind of
Yeah.
takes away like that grittiness that the games provided. And with Dead Space 3, microtransactions is what killed that game.
You would need to almost toss in those 2 Switch games as well, wouldn't you? The Unreal shooters.
Possibly, I would say possibly, as an option, but then they'd have to basically make it work with controller based stuff because I know like Xbox we don't even have like the Xbox Series X doesn't have the sensor bar anymore.
It doesn't even have any gun peripherals or anything, does it? Like the PlayStation's got that wand, but the
Yeah.
Xbox doesn't really have anything like that because they took away the Kinect.
Yeah, we have no. I guess they pretty much saw like we have no real because they have like their PC side of things. Their PC industry pretty much could take care of the VR section
Yeah.
nowadays. So they could kind of work on like team up with Oculus, like Xbox. Microsoft could team up with Oculus and basically make stuff and have their way there, and then have the same genre exist elsewhere. So
Yeah.
that helps. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for. But we already know that there's some titles that will not be at E3 this year.
Yeah, we've been given a few already that are not going to show up, which is a shame.
Yeah. A few of them, like a few of them that people were hoping to see, like of course, the infamous Dead Island 2.
As soon as you said Infamous there, I thought, yes, Infamous would be a good collection to come out again. Damn it.
We're talking about Dead Island 2 with Jack Black, and probably one project that he has yet to be out. A product that has yet to be out that has his voice in it. That's been sitting there for probably 3 or 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, over half a decade. Let's go with that. Over half a decade now. Saints Row has a new Saints Row game has already been like that's been quashed. So that rumor has been quashed.
Yeah.
Um,
It makes you wonder what Koch Media are going to show off, actually, since that's their big tentpole title.
That's their bread and butter right there.
Yeah.
Because they just because they released the Saints Row Saints Row the Third remaster,
That's right.
like
yeah.
a few months back. So unless they're gonna say, oh yeah, we're gonna make like Saints Row 4 remasters, like do you really need to?
Oh, I did 4
I don't
already.
think so,
They did 4 first, and then they did 3 after it. 4 was like a PS4 launch game, I think, a remaster for it.
Yeah, Get Out of Hell. There you go.
Yeah.
Remaster Get Out of Hell because
They could go back and remaster 1 and 2, I suppose, but that's what Agents of Mayhem, yeah.
2 Agents of Mayhem 2.
Even more
Saints
mayhem.
Row. with even more central characters.
They have to put
Um,
Johnny Gat in everything, don't they? Because like he's the only character that can carry a game, and that
no, also Kinsey did a good
was
job
Ken's in
too.
it too.
Yeah, Kinsey's an Agent of Mayhem. She pretty much is the same person.
Jeez.
She just isn't, into BDSM this time. Um,
Uh-huh.
which anybody who played the game knows that. So
Mhm.
yeah, her superpower outfit is a full body latex outfit with a hood.
Yep.
Yep.
That game was messed up in so many ways.
Uh-huh. Another title that won't be showing up is Prince of Persia.
That's sad because I was looking forward to that.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
another
that
series
trilogy.
that was a series I wish kind of got a second breath of life, I guess, in a way.
The thing
They
is, like, they made four of those games. They made like the first three for that trilogy, and then they made a fourth one that was like a middle part of the game where you played. It was like his brother was in it or something. And then he
yeah,
did the remake with Nolan North. That was like the one you couldn't die in. That you just get getting picked up all the time. But that was really good, that game as well. Like a little offshoot thing they did. There's
yeah,
it's such a waste.
yeah.
Mm.
Another one. No real like. So we got the Square Enix event happening.
Yeah,
So they're going to be talking about an expansion for the Avengers.
yeah,
That's cool,
I like
but
that
no
game.
real expansion
Eh.
discussion for Outriders. So
Outriders is still needs some work.
it needs some work, but also at the same time, like I said, like it's the new thing, so they kind of need that more. Like, yes, there are people playing it on Xbox, but people on Xbox Game Pass, they're the only ones that actually got it for free.
They were caught off
Everybody
guard
else,
with the success for that game. I think they knew it would do okay. I don't think they knew it would do as well as it did, despite the technical difficulties they had with that game.
yeah,
And I think it's caught them off guard because they did the announcement. They did a investors call a couple of weeks ago, and they were like,
yeah,
"Yeah, it's now one of our new franchises we're going to use. We're going to push." But it's interesting they're not going to push at E3. Let's get nothing to talk about
yeah.
maybe.
I know, and that's kind of the
Mm.
sad thing. There's a couple there. Well, yeah, there's a couple. There's a lot of games that are basically. There's some games that will be talked about. There's other games that will be kind of like hinted at, and that's about it.
Yeah,
And that's as far as they'll ever really go.
they'll
They
still talk
won't
about
really.
Yuffie's expansion in Final Fantasy VII, but they're not going to talk about the second episode yet because it's too early.
Yeah, which is very concerning. Like it's kind of like people are calling like the E3 apocalypse all of a sudden just because of the fact well, it's all online and all digital and there's nobody really going to be there, so people's voices can't be heard. It's like it's called a chat box.
Yeah, that's we do what
It's
we can just now with the limited ability to go anywhere that we have. It's either we do it this way, we don't have E3 at all, and
Yep.
that happened
Yeah.
last year, and look how bad that turned out. Some of the games was good for the first couple of days, and then it just dragged on far too long. We needed it all to be compacted.
Well, yeah, it's bad when we're actually starting to call out when we know what's pre-recorded and what's live. When we see the one guy with his colorful shirts and they just
Yes.
rapidly change within like 5 seconds.
Yep.
Like, all right, that's clearly pre-recorded. Okay, that's live. That's pre-recorded.
Different bow
Wait,
tie.
that's the same shirt from a couple days ago. What the hell?
You'll change your clothes in 4 days. Dirty. No, man, it's definitely like this is a return more to what E3 would be normally, but it's obviously still not 100% because nobody can go outside yet, or nobody can
Yeah,
go to big
exactly.
conference centers at least. Like you don't want. Would you really trust going into a room full of people that you don't know, hoping that they'd actually followed the things they were told to do to not get COVID? Because
Yeah.
you can guarantee your friends are doing it, and the people you know and you work with are doing it. What about all these random folk you've never met before? Like,
Well, yeah, that's kind of like the thing. Like with the fact that E3 is now is being dubbed more of like sort of like the Comic Con of video games in a sense. It's like it was trying. That's what it was trying to evolve itself into in 2020.
yeah, it should become an
With
influencer event back then because they were like, oh, it's gonna be a big influencer event and it'll be a big focus on like brands that people enjoy. And I was like, what even is this now?
yes, yes. Like next year, 2021. Who knows? Maybe the Experiment podcast will be live at E3 next year. You never know.
Never can tell.
I'll fly in bare and shin myself if I have to.
You don't have to tell me twice. I'll be there.
It's like free hotel, and I get to stay in like California for a week, and like the warm weather and the nice sunshine and all that. Like sure,
Heck yeah. Go to Kenshi
yeah.
Hall, see all the indie games.
Like yeah, we're going to go to E3, guys. Yeah, I'm over here doing something else, but that's why I brought you here. I know, but I got other things to do.
But this is what I do.
This is what I do. I'm vlogging right now. I'm vlogging my journey in
Oh,
LA.
God. A vlogger now. A vlogger and an influencer.
Yes, you
Yeah.
are. Well, you already are the influencer part, so you just need to vlog now, and you'll be set.
Maybe
You're
I
set.
will.
Yes. So next year we'll have your badge saying influencer and vlogger underneath there
Did anyone get their
instead of
E3
like
credentials in yet? Like, I've not had mine sent out yet.
I sent mine in. Okay, so can we talk about that?
Mhm.
So all three of us are streamers. We're all reactors in a sense. We're all
Yeah.
content creators in our own rights, like all three of us. However, we don't meet the credentials to be considered influencers slash content
Yeah.
creators
You need to be
in the
partnered.
registration for E3. We have to be partnered in order for us to actually get that access point. We're stuck at fan. That's it.
But even when
Like
I
all three of
applied for the
us.
fan thing, and that was days ago, and I've not heard a single thing back from them.
I did through mine. I did get my confirmation. It's just they didn't open the portals yet. The portals won't be open till Friday. No,
Right.
Saturday. Sorry, Saturday.
You mean the
Sorry.
day of
The Saturday.
E3 when it's opened?
Yeah. Yes, the portals will not be open for the fans till that Saturday. If you're press, you have access to those portals right now. And I'm not gonna lie my way in there because guess what? I'm the one that gets in trouble. You two are spared the wrath. I'm the one that gets the brunt of it.
Yeah.
He's like, you guys just like, oh, we didn't know that he'd lied. You guys at least can have that, you have that trump card in your hand.
People used to lie all this. People used to like say things like, "Oh, I work for GameStop," or "I work for like Game in the UK," and people would get into E3 because of that. That's how little
Yeah.
their checks used to be done. Like they would check with the company that you said you worked for, and they say, "Oh yeah, he works for us." They'd be like, "Oh, that's game related," and you come. That was all you had to
Yeah.
do. Now it's like, we want social security number. We want to know how long you've been on the earth. What's your favourite colour? How far does an African swallow fly? It's just like so much
No,
random.
no. What's the speed of a swallow?
Yeah.
What kind? African or European?
Your favourite colour? Blue, no black. Ah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the answers right there. The bridge of death, pretty much.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, like I said, like it's like you mentioned before. Shin mentioned this before in another discussion. With Summer of Gaming, it's a little bit easier to kind of get in there.
Mm-hmm.
Or Summer Game Fest or Summer of Gaming?
Both,
Both. Okay.
I guess.
But then again, we can still react in our respective ways. My streaming schedule pretty much is having me wake up about coming online about an hour to half an hour before the show starts, just to kind of go over stuff. We probably will start a little bit early on Thursday just to kind of go over what has been like drop trailer wise throughout the week.
Yeah.
Talk about the Battlefield stuff. And yeah, we'll be reacting on our respective channels those days, pretty much like starting varying times and like based on our schedules. Also, we may or may not be able to make them sometimes,
You may
or
find
we'll
like
be running a little bit
maybe it's
late.
just Cylon, maybe it's just me, maybe it's just Bear, maybe it's a combination of the three, or maybe there's somebody else there that day as well. Like depends on how schedules are freed up and what people have got going on in their normal lives. Because as much as
Yeah, because
our personal lives revolve around video games, our professional lives might not. So
yeah, but like I said, like in regards to like the setup for this coming event, it's like our time zones. Like we've like I said, I mentioned at the very beginning of this program that this year's digital event is very convenient for both North America and European viewers.
yeah,
Like you're not up till like 4 in the morning watching, 4 or 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning watching presentations that
there
are
was
ending around.
times in the past where like it started at 2 in the morning. That's when
Yeah,
and you were up all day and all night.
There's the Nintendo
yeah,
Direct at like 7 a.m. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, I remember watching the Ubisoft press conference at 4 in the morning, going, "Why am I doing this?" Aisha Taylor's up there making bad jokes about her having Girlwood, and I'm like, do I really want to watch this?
People are paid thousands of dollars just to do this, and here
Yeah.
I am, not being paid a dime, reacting to this and
Using my holidays up.
questioning my life and my life choices as we stare at this.
I'm on holiday until Wednesday for this stuff, so like I'll be up at all hours.
Oh boy.
I would have had the whole week off if my boss hadn't decided that someone was off when they weren't. I still understand what happened there. Like, you can't be off the whole week if somebody else is off. Okay, no problem. Can I have Monday and Tuesday then? Yeah, that's fine. And then I go, I need to book an exam. Oh, do you want Thursday, Friday off? Yeah, no problem. I look at the calendar and I'm like, that's the week you said somebody was off. Like, how can I have Monday and Tuesday and Thursday and Friday if someone else is off? Did you lie to
Indeed.
me? Did you lie to me?
He just looks at you, just like slowly, like gets close to your face and says, "Yes."
Probably. But it was what it is. I've got other days off for other things, but East is usually the one time of the year I always have off at the same time, so at least I get some days off.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And besides, like this year, like they said, promise to summer gaming, they're going to try to have it more condensed for at least June and July. We have QuakeCon coming down the line as well. We also have PAX Online starting next month. Or PAX Online,
TGS.
TGS, Tokyo Game Show. So that's going to be another early morning stream
Yep.
for me. We also have, it was announced during Indie Expo Live at the end of their stream that they will be having Indie Expo Winter Edition 2021 this year. So December, you'll be seeing another stream starting at 3 or 4 in the morning with yours truly. Yeah.
We have the Game Awards late December as well.
Oh, I am really gonna hate that if they're the same day. We have Indie Expo for 5 hours, 6 hours, depending on how many games are presented. Because one thing I have to give credit for Indie Expo Live's presenter or the producers, they pretty much were presented with 300 titles by like developers from various sources, from very independent titles of major leaguers, and they said, you know what, screw it, let's do everybody. Let's show them all, because they all presented their games, and they said, all right, we'll do everybody, and they did about 300 plus titles at the end of the day.
That was a long stream.
It was a long stream. It was an enjoyable stream at the end of at the very end, because it was fun to watch. But
Yep.
I think like with that being said, we will be, so you guys will probably see, like everybody who's watching us, you'll see us again this coming Thursday at our respected times. There will be pre-show discussions, and I'll probably be starting a little bit earlier than my schedule is right now, that I posted on Twitter and on my Discord, to give you an idea of when I'm going to be starting.
Yep.
So if anything, I'll be up for most of the day. So we'll probably be doing art, or probably just chatting, or checking out movie trailers, or even doing discussions about movies or video games or stuff like that in the lull section, in the lull times. Or I'll just take a break and just sign off for a bit and then come back, and then hope I make it in time to watch the actual show start up again.
Should be fine.
You never know. You never know how the world works nowadays. And besides, like Thursday's gonna be a huge thing, because we actually do have some celebrities going in there. We have Gus, of course. We have good old Gus from Breaking Bad showing up, talking about his most recent character in Far Cry 6, the Castillo. So I'm looking forward to that. Weezer, of course, the muted section of the stream. And besides that, yeah. So be sure to join myself on that day. I'll be here live on twitch.tv/Xylon136. Be sure to follow me on Twitch there, or on Twitter at Xylon136 on the tweets. And where can they find you, Mr. Shin?
I'm Shin Kagato pretty much everywhere. So if you check me on Twitch or Twitter, you will find me there mumbling on about video games and how they were better in the olden days.
And of course, Mr. Bear, where can they find you?
Anywhere other than the Army Pen Company.
We're gonna make that work for you one day.
When you type in the Atomic Bear, do not click on .com. Click on.
Yeah, I don't have a website. Yet.
Yeah. But you'll have to be .net or something like
I'll be
that. I
the
don't
real
know.
Atomic Bear.
Yeah.
Or atomicbear.uk or something like that. I
True
don't know.
Atomic Bear.
Like the atomicbear.com. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Now we're thinking.
There we go. If only we make the symbol as a font logo, that would work, but then people would be confused how to actually access the site. It's like, ironically enough, we also sell army pins.
Yep, that's what we do.
We start selling a line of pens. We just
Oh my god.
They get a lawsuit. Just like you get like a lawsuit
can't
from
wait, yeah.
from the like comicberry.com. It's like, this is a gimmick
They'd
infringement.
never expect it.
yeah,
That's,
from someone
that
with the
is
same name, we never
true.
understand how it happened.
That's I'm kind of glad there's no such thing as Xylon136.com, because that would just be weird.
Hmm.
I can still trademark my
I'm on
name,
it.
I think. No, you don't. No.
I had a website once, but I couldn't get the .com version of it, and it just soured me on the whole thing. I had .net, .co.uk,
Gosh.
and something else, but I couldn't get .com.
I think if I actually do get the .com thing, it'll probably be just more or less a link either to Twitch or to the Experiment Podcast Podbean channel.
Hmm.
Actually, to be honest, I could just do that just to save myself some skin. So we will be back on Thursday at our respective times, whether it be in Central Daylight Time or British Standard Time.
Mhm.
So either in Sydney or Bist.
Best for best.
Yeah. No, Bist. Not best. Bist.
Bzz.
Bist.
Is it an angry
There you
bee?
go. Bist. Yeah, you got him bist off. There you go. And there you go. Hey.
Damn it.
Unbelievable.
Oh, stop. Both of you. So yeah, like I said, you can find me on Twitch at Silent136 or at twitch.tv/Silent136, Shin Gagato at twitch.tv/Shin or the Atomic Bear at
That's
twitch.tv/the
me.
Atomic Bear. So guaranteed after E3 there will be definitely fallout from both our respective podcasts. If we're able to even talk by that point.
Yeah, we took a
Um,
couple of days off to recuperate our vocal cords.
yeah, even when we come back, we'll be really able to talk anyway. So,
So last year was I lost my voice a couple of times last year.
well, that was longevity at the end of the day, but that was like the length of the game, length of the entire show that was kind of killing us more than anything else.
Yeah.
But with that being said, guys, really do appreciate everybody that stopped in today. Thank you so much for the raid. And like I said, we will be back this coming Thursday. So yeah, I'm not really sure. Should we just air this episode on? Should we just? I'm debating whether I should just make this a YouTube.
I'm going to stick a copy of it on YouTube as well, so that people. I've not
Might
put
as
anything on
well.
YouTube for ages, so I'm going to start putting E3 stuff up there at least, so there's some content on there for the one fan I've got that shows up to watch the videos.
And Bear's already covered. He's got his YouTube. He's got his own Twitch channel. He's got his own podcast to go run. His own podcast to run. So
I
Yeah.
got a whole heap of stuff to keep on top of.
he's got his role play to basically like plug his E3
Yeah,
reactions
guys,
to,
you have
Oh,
not
very
watched Bear do role playing GTA. You should. He is.
or role playing in general. Role playing in general. Very good.
Yeah,
Very
I
good.
mean, we've been doing yeah, that's our big thing, is just role playing everything. We do a little bit of GTA, but it's more like it's an encompassing subject at this point, because we're doing a new project with Minecraft at the moment, which is pretty exciting.
Oh no!
Ah.
Oh no!
Yeah, Minecraft roleplay.
That just sounds chaotic right there. Does
It's
Minecraft
great. It's so good.
Yeah, I have to do mention though, like one of my favorite role plays I've seen recently. Like I know like there's GTA stuff like that, and there's also Minecraft. My favorite role playing, I'm so sad I never stumbled across it sooner, was when Friday the 13th was still a thing,
Ah,
and
yeah,
there
I've
was
done some role playing
we
that.
done some
Yeah,
role
yeah,
playing that. Oh, geez,
yeah, yeah.
like Jason saying like, "Give me a soliloquy and I won't kill you." Like, give me a good soliloquy or a good limerick or a good monologue,
No, I
and
would
I'll over
always I So my bit would always be I'd play as obviously one of the I'd try not to get Jason, but whenever I'd go up against someone who is Jason, I'd always try and get employed by them. I'd do a little interview like of my strengths and weaknesses and my skills and my resume, and I'd hand them my resume, and
Like,
then they'd
what
employ
can I
me.
offer?
Yeah, and then I'd just go around being like, "Hey, have you seen? Are you good? Have you seen anything? They're over here. Come and beat them. Come and kill them." And then I just sell out my fellow teammates to Jason.
Yeah.
And your payment was you get to live? More or less?
I lived.
He'll just lead you to like, okay, here's where the battery is, here's where the gas is, here's where the key is. Get that car, get out of here.
That was it, you know, yeah.
Get out of here, little
I got
rascal.
everyone else murdered, and I got to leave.
Sounds pretty great to me.
Good times.
It's your pay.
This is a good.
That's a good. You
heat.
get overtime. What?
Wait, what? Oh no!
You get overtime. What's overtime? Oh, there's a new set of cameras coming in about 10 minutes. Do you want to hang out for a little bit longer?
Fine.
Fine.
I guess you've got a big knife.
You're also towering over me. You're about the size of a, you pretty much can teleport like without a, you're like an anime character, pretty much. Actually, yeah, pretty much Jason is an anime character when you think about it.
What a weeb.
Puts that to his face though.
Yeah.
I'd say to his face.
What's he gonna do?
Stab
What's he gonna
you.
do?
Probably die. Yeah.
Break you into.
Worth it though. You basically get to call out Jason while he's killing you. So you call that a shank. You call that a shanking.
Shit on.
You call that a stab wound. You call that dismemberment.
Call that a knife.
You call yourself a killer. You don't even.
That's not a
You're
knife.
just a grungy looking Michael Myers. That's what you are. You wear coveralls. You don't even wear a decent mask. At least he wore a William Shatner mask.
And then death ensues.
Indeed.
Yes. It's like, how'd you die? I just basically punked out Jason before I died. Okay. Gates open up for you. Yeah, welcome.
Oh, you get the ensuite. You do.
You get the VIP suite. It's like, what did I do? You stood up to Jason. All right. So yeah,
Did
like I
my
said,
part.
yeah, you did. Yeah, exactly. You did your part. You did your part.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm good. Definitely didn't
All
drop
right.
anything.
Eventually, I do realize eventually we're going to basically do this all via webcams, right? So we all have to be on our best behavior eventually. We'll have Horace or Claudia come in and attack the keyboard at one point,
I talk across the keyboard when I'm talking to people and it just comes up as gibberish.
or disconnects you entirely. Just send the stream on your end, disconnects you from the call. It's like, what happened? Last thing we saw was, I think it was either Horace or Claudia walking over to the keyboard, and that was it. That's all we saw.
They managed to press
We just
Control
saw,
or
like-
Delete and then hit the down key to shut down.
Oh, jeez. They'll find a way.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think that's it. So we'll be back on Thursday, our respective times on my channel, twitch.tv/136, Shin's at Shin Kagato at twitch.tv. Eventually that should be a thing. Why isn't that a thing yet? Or the Atomic Bear on his respective channel as well. So this is Cheshire, this is the Cyborg Cheshire Jeff Keighley bot over here, Xylem136. With sorry.
I think that was your cue, Shin. That was your cue.
I was distracted by cats walking past.
Oh my.
Oh,
That's
I called it.
not
I
a
called it.
valid excuse.
Valid excuse.
you can fit. So, what? Maybe just say
All right.
goodbye.
Okay, hold on. Take two.
Yep. All right. Cut.
Cut. Reprint. All
Action.
right, ready? All right, hold on. We had to sync. So 1, 2, 3. All right.
I think we're
Close
good.
enough. We're good. Okay. All right. So until next time, guys, I am Xylem136.
I'm Shin Kagato.
I'm the other one.
Oh. He is the Atomic Bear, aka the Mad Hatter.
Definitely.
And we will see you guys this coming Thursday for E3 kickoff and our Hell Week begins.
Indeed.
So, till then, see you next time. Goodbye.
Sayonara.
Get out of here.
Nice. Very nice. Okay, we could talk.
All right.